What's
What's
up?
up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on the Dallas Cowboys. Before we get all to that, we have a very special guest, guys. A longtime supporter here at My Cowboys family. One of the day ones. A true Dallas Cowboy fan, guys. Please say a big hello, a big warm welcome to Cowboys Abroad, all the way from Okinawa, Japan. So, Cowboys Abroad, go ahead and say
Welcome.
hello, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on? This Cowboy, this Cowboys Abroad. First of all, I'd just like to say thanks for having me on. It's an honor to be on your show. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we can finally get together. And have some discussion. And I'm really thankful. I'm really thankful and honored that you would have me on your show. With that said, let's get into some Cowboys.
So,
Yeah,
we're
for
ready
sure.
to go. And
Hey, thank you, man, for doing, for being here. Thank you for, partially is because of the donation, but it's not a donation, man. We wanted to honor you here with or without the donation. You won last week, as you can see below, and we appreciate everything you do for us. You represent my Cowboys family all the way,
yes.
all the way in Okinawa, Japan, guys. This man right here, give him, salute and everything, because you really busted your butt for this country. We really appreciate your support and everything you do, and thank you for doing what you do out there, military or civilian. Much love, man, and representing the Cowboys and just the Cowboys in general and my Cowboys family. Thank you, man. I mean, you're the best. This is across the other side of the world, guys. Right now, we're talking to Cowboys abroad, and again, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Talking to you as well. I do want to ask you a question or two before we get into the news. So, Cowboys abroad. First thing is, how long have you been a Dallas Cowboy super fan? Let us know.
Hey, so I was I was born in 1974, and I was born in Dallas, Texas. And so with that, I'll just say I've been a lifelong Cowboy fan, and my dad was a lifelong Cowboy fan, and he wouldn't have it any other way, even if I wanted to go a different direction. So I would say 43 years.
Very cool. No, that's good. Man, that's I'm right there with you in those similar years. Let's put it that way. So I understand. I just wasn't there. I was in Jersey, New York, so in New York City. So I was around the Giant
Enemy
fans left and right.
territory.
Exactly. It was no direct TV. There was no satellite. There was just the Giants, the Jets, and then the Cowboys once in a while, because we were always America's team. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you represent all over. And that's a homegrown Texan right here,
Yeah,
at
forget
Dallas
Pitbull,
Cowboys.
you're Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah. So that's awesome, man. He is truly Cowboys abroad. So, man, we appreciate everything you do again, representing the Cowboys, being who you are right now, what you do. And we're going to go back and talk about some specific stuff throughout this news chat, but also we're going to talk about some specific questions I want to ask you about. About some comments you made in the chat that we gotta go discuss it. Jason Garrett, Des Bryant, whatever it may be. Orlando Scandrick. We're gonna talk about some stuff, and we're gonna hold that up to a little bit later.
Yeah, guys, but definitely stay tuned because the Cowboys Abroad's going to speak some controversy. We're definitely, I'm excited to pick his brain. And I want to take a quick second to everyone here in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I ain't scared.
That's good, man. Because it's a family event, man. So it's not about fighting; it's about debating, and discussing, and I definitely want to pick your brain for sure, man, about Garrett and other things. So, any last words before going to the news, and then we'll jump back to you, throughout the news. No, ready to go.
Yeah.
He's muted. Okay, good.
All right, so we are ready to go. But real quick before we get right to it, guys, make sure to hit like on the stream. It's one of the best ways you can help support us. Sub it up if you're new and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we're live. We're here every day bringing you guys the updates. And on top of that, follow us on Twitter so you don't miss when we're live. YouTube's broken sometimes. Let me post some other fun stuff on there as well. So, quick, New York Giant for life, Brad Baker, lead Aubrey, Sport Network. Hey, Sport Network, week 1. I know you're saying those boys in Panther Nation, let's get it. Can't wait to see it. Cleveland Brown, thanks for being here. John Lindsay, what's good? Yes, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump to it. Again, not a big news day, but definitely still some things to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually kick it off with a very quick comment by, let me find it here. I believe it was D-Ware. He made this comment on Twitter. I just thought it was really interesting.
D-Ware? Oh, D-Ware.
Yeah,
Okay.
so DeMarcus Ware said technique can outweigh athleticism, but when you have both, you can become a champion and the greatest of all time. Routine builds confidence. So,
true.
it's nice to hear some of the thoughts from one of the greatest. So
The Cowboys, yeah.
It's not just talent, guys. It's these guys have to put in the work. They have to be consistent
Technique,
with
you
it.
gotta swim, you gotta do all that stuff as a rusher. You gotta be on top of it. He's right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and kick it off. And baby, what's up? What's the
So
news?
obviously earlier today, Fiance went live, guys. On we kind of been following the James Hanna saga. Did not know he had a bone bruise from 2 years ago. The bone bruise turned into this knee arthritic knee issue that he's had for 2 years. So 2 years he's had this bone bruise. If you look back, you can see some people, posting about this bone bruise. It looked kind of severe. He was kind of in and out. He was kind of out 2 years ago. I think he was too injured to play. And then last year he did play, but he made a couple plays. The Cowboys don't use him properly. We were saying that it's just a matter of time before he's gone one way or the other. Now, we know he retired. He was forced to retire, kind of like if I with Stephen Paya kind of situation.
Yeah, and the thing that surprised me as far as this, I knew Hanna, was battling with some injuries, dealing with some stuff, because I know he missed, I think, a game or something, but I was just surprised, it kind of came out of left field in the sense of this sounds like it was pretty bad enough for him to retire. So, the Cowboys must have known this. Do you think that might have affected some of their decisions the last year or two?
I think that this also, guys, think back to last year when Blake Jarwin was on the practice squad and he was about to go to Philadelphia and he would have won a Super Bowl ring. He was about to go off our practice squad, be taken off the practice squad, taken by the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Cowboys decided to cut somebody. I forgot who they cut, and they moved him onto the 53 so we wouldn't lose him. Now you understand why? These things trickle down, and there's always an explanation to some of these crazy things you see happening. We've been saying that since it happened. We're like, they really like Blake Jarwin, the Cowboys. They did not want him to go to Philly, anybody. But Philly was a team that was making a run at him. We wanted to keep him. And then when you think, now the bone bruise turned to the arthritic knee for James Hanna, which now officially, he's officially on the, and I'm going to say it here, the reserve/retired list. So he's officially retired. So because of that, he's retiring, and now you know why we kept Blake Jarwin on the roster. He's a blocking tight end, which is what we were trying to. Unfortunately, people say Hanna should have been a receiving tight end. He's fast. He's probably the fastest tight end on our team.
But that knee injury probably held him back a lot. You can't run if you're
even before that, though, when we had him for years, a couple years before that, he still was never an integral part of the passing game. He was always a blocking tight end with Swaim. So you're looking at Rico Gathers making they're going to have to, Rico's going to have to show what he's got. They're probably going to get a rookie tight end. So those two guys are going to be competing for that Jason Witten spot. While you have Swaim and you have Blake Jarwin playing the 2 and 3 tight ends, meaning that they're going to be like the big package, or whatever you call. I forgot the actual name, but basically you're gonna stack your offensive line with 3 tight ends. They're the blocking guys. You got Witten in there too. So again, we got to see Rico or this rookie, whoever rookie we get, to kind of get ready to take over that role that Jason Witten has. In my opinion, we need to phase him out like the way the Chargers phased out Antonio Gates. And again, I think that this Hanna move, again, I think people don't realize that it is a bigger deal than just saying James Hanna, who cares? He had some skill. He has some good. We don't want him gone. But when you look at the salary cap numbers as well, 2.75 is his total number. I think there's an actual number that we're going to save on it, and it's not 2.71, but it's because it was not post June 1st. If it was post June 1st, it would have been 2.75. I'm pretty sure about that. But because
it is before that, it's going to be a little less.
It was a little less. So the deal is that
it's still over $2 million though, right?
Just a little bit over $2 million. I'm trying to find it right now, but yeah. So here, the $2.7 million comes off the books for the Cowboys, meaning now the future, whatever. But it basically makes room, $2.2 million of room on the salary cap officially. Like that's the actual usable salary cap. We get $2.2 million. Again, $2.2 million for a guy who hardly even, he had about 3 catches last year. Again, a good blocking tight end is hard to come by, but now he's got his knee issue. Guys, A and B equals, 1 and 2, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And what I'm trying to say is that in this situation, Hanna had no room on this team anymore. With Blake Jarwin, the writing was on the wall. We kind of said that middle of the year last year. And then now it's kind of been, full circle. So, we wish Hanna the best. I don't think he's going to be able to play ever again. He had some, he's fast tight end. The Cowboys coaches never used him properly, in my opinion. And, time has come and gone for him with the Cowboys. Let me just hit a couple other things here. Again, James Hanna, 28 years old. So he's still very young. Injured list, with the reserve injured list for that knee injury. Like I said, $2.2 million off the salary cap part, 2.7 off the books for the whole time. So it looks like we save money for next year as well. And let me just see here. I want to make sure, again, I saw this, Todd Archer made a comment about this, that there needs to be more of a discussion about Blake Jarwin in this entire tight end situation with James Hanna. And again, I kind of talked about it already about...
Jarwin feels like an afterthought for the most part. Like, kind of a throwaway.
Should not. It
I
should
know,
not.
but I mean, have you really heard anyone...
Yes, his blocking skills are very good. Now, receiving skills, not too good. But we don't care. We want a blocking tight end in the Cowboys. We want to run the ball with Zeke and feed Zeke.
That's what
we need that. So that's what whoa, what's up? Bleed silver and blue in the house. Thank you.
$5 holla.
Yes, much
Supported
love.
Dan Bailey. That
Yes.
Dan Bailey love.
Yes. That $5 holla. Thank you, man. We are trying to do our best.
We are nothing without you guys here in the chat. You guys help keep us going. So thank you to everyone who's here.
Yes, I'm gonna.
And thank you, Bleed Silver. Fiance's gonna put you up on the leaderboard as soon as we're done with the news.
For sure. That's you're moved right up there. So let me just finish with this here. So just to give you a whole thing about James Hanna, and then I want to ask Cowboys Abroad about what he thinks about James Hanna and this whole tight end situation. But let me go through this last couple, this little statements here. Dealing with an arthritic knee condition, tight end James Hanna felt it was time to think about his long-term health and his decision to retire today. Quote, "The dream was to play for the Cowboys," Hanna said. "I don't know how many people actually do what they say they're going to do at like 13 years old, but I consider myself to be extremely lucky in that sense. Also, the college I went to, Oklahoma, I feel like I've met my goals. It would have been nice to have more stats, and obviously I could have done more things, but I'm proud of what I accomplished." And for Hanna, what he did do some great. He's a very good blocker, a very good team player, role player. He did great in multiple years. I never wanted him gone years ago, but when I realized how much money he's hitting us this year, and I see that he's having issues getting healthy, I knew it was going to have to be between him and Jeff Swaim. Swaim stayed healthy the whole year. Hanna obviously is having issues, and that's why he had to go.
I think Hanna's the better tight end out of those two, though?
I think Hanna's the better tight end. I think Jeff Swaim still has time to develop. But again, those two guys, I'm still keeping them because I saw Swaim drop easy pass in his first preseason game ever from Dak Prescott against the Rams in that opener in L.A. last year, or 2016. And Swaim dropped like 3 passes. So again, that was his second year, I think. He had his injury the year before that. So I still think these guys solved some things with Swaim, but he actually had a good year. He got hurt in 2016. And he made a difference on our team when it came to Swaim. So I think that one of the two, basically you have two of the same guys. I think we have to make a decision who's cheaper. Swaim is cheaper.
Now, just to kind of finish your whole tight end thing before we jump to Cowboys Abroad with his thoughts, do you think that the Cowboys have been held back in developing some of their tight end talent because they have Jason Witten? So it's almost been,
great question.
Like afterthought. That's a great question. Not an afterthought, but just not a priority.
I just think the Cowboys coaches never really implemented James Hanna and so far Swaim into the passing game. Whether or not they can pass or not, they see they can catch or not, it's besides the point. We know Hanna has some good speed as a tight end. Cowboys never even really tapped into that. And that's not the player. That's not not Dez. That's not Dak. That's the coaches. Yeah. And that's where I think that again, if you want to look past Garrett, I know Cowboys brother going to say that's fine, but Garrett's the one running the show. And if he's continuously failing on developing our tight ends, we got issues. That's a great question, baby, that you said there.
Yeah, just
about
again, it's one of those things that until right this second, I didn't really stop to think about the fact that we've had Hanna, we've had Swaim, we've had these guys, but they haven't really gone anywhere, like you said. Right.
So just remember, guys, Hanna was not part of the offseason workout that started off on Monday. So the writing again was continuously on the wall. Same things happening with Earl Thomas in Seattle. We'll talk about that. That's another topic. But let's ask Cowboys Abroad. What do you think about this tight end situation in Dallas and Big D? James Hanna moving on. We still have Witten, who's getting old. Give me your thoughts on him. Give me your thoughts on Rico. Give me your thoughts about Swaim and if you can, Swaim and Blake Jarwin too. And then if we get a rookie, so break it down for us, Cowboys Abroad. Let us know what you think.
Some of this stuff is going to be repetitive because I've been firing off lines in the chat room. But essentially, I personally think Hanna was just a guy. Swaim's not much more than that. A little bit better, a little bit better in my opinion. Swaim in my thought was a little bit better blocker. Hanna a little bit better passer. But at the end of the day, they both just average guys. Nothing to lead about them. Nothing to lead about them. Not a big loss. We've been searching for Jason Witten's replacement now for probably about 6 years. And really, none of these guys are really panned out for what we want to do. We want a guy that can block well and catch well. And rarely do you find that combination. We got to keep in mind that Jason Witten is a Hall of Famer. And Now, very, very seldom when you find a guy that's good at both. So our tight end situation is, it's a little tough for me because I really don't think Hanna was the guy. Swing and get us by on some blocking, but I really don't think he's the answer for our tight end situation.
So what do you think about Rico possibly making that next step?
I like Rico and his ability to catch. I just don't know if the blocking is going to be there, and I don't know if we can trust him medically. The guy takes one hit and he's out for the season. Takes one hit, he's out for the season. Just can't. I don't know enough about him to bet the future of the Cowboys on him.
So then, what about a rookie then? What do you think about that? So kind of the next step, because Witten's a goat. He's the goat. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer, but he's old man now. So what's the next step?
Next step would probably be to grab a guy. To grab a guy that we can train up. We got this year to train him up. So I would say grab a tight end in the 4th or 5th round. And try to make it work. But we got to keep some expectations. Keep our expectations reasonable, and understand that he's just not going to be. He might get lucky, but he's probably not going to be a Witten. Probably not going to be a Witten. Probably going to be a guy that'll get you by. In a pinch, we got to live with that. Or go spend some money in free agency, which Cowboys don't like to do.
Good point. Fiance has a question for you.
Yeah, so you said earlier, again, Witten's a Hall of Famer. He can block well and he can catch well. If you had to prioritize one type of tight end over the other, would you rather have a tight end that can catch better than he blocks, or would you rather have a tight end that can block better than he catches?
I'll let him answer, but I think it's team need, and right now we have a couple blocking tight ends, but no real receiving tight end. Go ahead, Cowboys, bro.
So I guess team needs, keep those into consideration as well. So.
Now this answer is probably gonna surprise you, but I'm gonna say blocking tight end.
Wow.
And the reason I say blocking tight end is because we run the ball so much. 50% of our offense is running the ball, and we need somebody that can block. Not only for Zeke, but somebody that can come over and chip block in the event that we lose. One of our linemen, we gotta have a tight end that can come over and chip block, and help our guys out. So with us being so run dependent, I think we probably need a guy that can block well. We have, as it stands right now, we have 7 receivers on our roster. We do ball distribution well. We got a lot of people that can catch the ball. We got a lot of weapons that can catch the ball. It doesn't necessarily have to be a tight end. We can put a switch in the slot, or Beasley in the slot, or even move Allen Hurns over into the slot, and pick up that 12 to 15 yard range. So I don't really feel it being critical that our tight end catch well.
So
very
interesting.
There,
and again, keeping all that into consideration, let's kind of switch gears a little bit more into our very famous Jason Witten, tight end. Do you think that he should retire this year?
I love Witten. Witten has done so much for the Cowboys. He's loyal. He's been there for us. He's been around for a long time. Did a lot for the Cowboys. But yeah, it's time for him to go. It's time for him to go. His skills are somewhat diminishing. Have been diminishing. He's gotten slower. We probably need to go younger at the position. It's really time for him to retire. The only thing about it that really concerns me is Witten is the locker room leader, and so I hate to see all that leadership experience go out the door, and that foundation in the locker room, more than the player himself.
Very cool. Hey, you got some great answers. Actually, that's going to lead us into the next part. Whoa, bleed silver and blue.
With a $9.99.
As you can see,
Doing fine.
I put you up there, Bleed Silver and Blue, and now you just jumped barely in first place. Now you jumped it up again. Nice big jump, Bleed Silver and Blue. Thank you for the drop, man.
Yeah, and thank you again for all the support, guys. We appreciate everyone. We know you guys work hard for your money, so thank you for
man.
helping us keep this thing going.
Yes, trust me. So, hey, thank you so much, Bleed Silver and Blue, and thank you, Cowboys Abroad, for that answer, because that's a great point about the team leader. But I want to ask you, this is going to lead us to the next topic. So keep close on this one here. It's about Dez Bryant and being a team leader. I want to know what you think, Cowboys Abroad. We're going to go into Dez Bryant now and his possible move to the New York Giants. But I want you to know.
You guys have been talking about it in the chat.
Yeah, I want you before we go into that, I want you to tell me, Cowboys Abroad, what you think about locker room leaders like Jason Witten. What about Dez Bryant? What about the fact that both these guys' skills have diminished, yet one is gone and the other one's still there? Let me know what you think about that.
Well, in reality, at the end of the day, it's really about Dak. Dak and making the team Dak friendly. And Dak friendly is getting rid of the people that get in his face, getting rid of the people that get in his face, and actually challenge him for the ball. Because being stovepipe to Dez, gets us away from what we do best, which is spread the ball around, do great ball distribution, hit the open guy. Whenever you got a Dez, you kind of got, as much as I love Dez Bryant, he is kind of a hothead. He's one of those guys that's going to demand the ball. He wants the ball 99.9% of the time. That's not how we run. That's not how we run our offense. You gotta. So, in some ways, Dez is on his way out because he kind of conflicts with the direction in which we're trying to take the offense.
Okay. I mean, that's basically what the Cowboys have been saying, right?
Part of the reason why Dez was gone.
Yeah, so. and we're gonna go right. Let me just get I gotta make sure I give another shout out to Bleed Silver and Blue for the drop, and also to our stream boss, who's still Art87.
That's right.
He's rocking it still out there. It's all right. It's good.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So let's run. Very, very interesting commentary there, Cowboys. We're gonna check back in with you in a moment. Let me go into the news again here. Now, Dez Bryant. That's why I was asking about him. Now, you love him. You think it was time for him to go. You're not too upset. Listen, we have all those feelings here on My Cowboys Family. We were conflicted in that way too. I definitely understand what Cowboys Abroad is saying, and he wants Dez there. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted Dez there for at least one more year to see if he still has that magic left. But we can't cry over spilled milk. Now it's on. The team moved on. It's time to move on as fans. And no matter how many videos we watch about Dez or about Dak or about this, right now Dak's the guy we're riding with. So we got to really put it behind him and really hope that the Cowboys did the right thing. We have no choice in the matter. But I do think that Dak, just like Dez, still has something there and can still do very well out there on the field and lead our team. Both these guys. But again, Dez has had his issues. Witten has his issues now as far as playing ability on the field. And we're gonna see where it goes from here. But now listen, the news-wise. We got Dez Bryant today was seen with Odell Beckham. They were working out together.
Now, let's keep it real though, guys. They weren't. It's not like they were the only two. There's another. There's another player there as well. It's but where there's smoke, there's fire.
If you watch Instagram, if you watch his Instagram post, I think that's where he did it. You can see him working out, right? And he's like calling out to Odell, and then they go to them working out like with the cords, with the what were those resistance bands? Yeah, those, and they were like moving them with there, and then it slowed it down. And behind him, he drew a little arrow pointing to Dez Bryant. Can the Cowboys something better, or can the Cowboys go to the playoffs without Dez Bryant? And he circled it. So he's definitely pissed. He's calling out the Cowboys. He's not gonna let it go.
He's in his feelings about this.
He wants the NFC. He wants to stay in the NFC East. He wants to play the Cowboys twice. And
the most important question is, though, will he have the time of his life with Odell? Is that going to be the next big Super Bowl commercial, right? Dez lifting up Odell into some pretty ballerina moves. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the catch, though. And I just heard this after this whole thing. The rumors are kind of getting out there. Dez going to go to New York. Guess what? the Giants camp, and Gettleman, he's actually I think he's like the Rosen guy from the Eagles, and I don't know his full name, but these GMs are not messing around.
Like Rosenbaum,
something like that. Yeah. These guys are not messing around. The Eagles not messing around. The Giants now are not messing around. And I'm telling you, I mean, whether or not they sign him or not, they're saying straight up right now. The Giants camp is saying they're not the mutual. It's not the interest is not mutual. All right, Dez wants to play in New York, but the Giants don't want Dez right now. Right now, we know that can change, but I would hate to see Dez Bryant in the NFC East. Just personally, liking Dez Bryant and he's a Cowboy for life. We know he's going to stay a Cowboy. He's a retired Cowboy. He's going to be in the Ring of Honor probably. Him and Jerry Jones still have a great relationship. It's the coaches that he has an issue with, and it looks like some of the players too, like A. Witten. We don't know yet, but instead of creating that kind of controversy, we don't really know who's the guys. We do know that Garrett and him had some words. We do know that he has an issue with Lenahan. These are facts. Those two guys we know. So there's been an issue there with Dez calling out the coaches, and the coaches now kind of saying, you know what, we don't need you anymore, Dez. And like Cowboys Abroad said, he made a great point, and we said this before. Without a number one, all right, you kind of have to. As a defense, you kind of got to figure out. You can't really. It helps you not having to double team and leave it open, but at the same time, you don't really know where the ball's going to be spread to. Where is the ball going to go? Is it going to go to the tight end? Is it going to go to the running back out of the backfield? They have 3 or 4 receivers that can catch the ball.
Exactly.
Who's going to go?
It's good and bad. You don't have that number one playmaking guy that if you hit, you throw the ball to him, he'll make that play. He'll make the big play.
And Dak was a little bit. Dez was a little bit lackluster on that big play kind of deal. He made a couple in the beginning of the year, but he kind of went downhill, it seemed like, throughout the year. The year before that, he bobbled a lot of balls. We know about his drops. But the point is this. When Dez is in the game, with the way the Cowboys offense was set up, the X-receiver, the number one receiver, okay, the big guy, okay, that's going to be Dez Bryant on the Cowboys. He's the X-receiver. If he's single covered, he's not double covered, the game plan for Dak and from the coaches is always one thing. Dez gets the ball. I don't want to hear it. Dez gets the ball. That's the game plan Lenahan has set up with Garrett. If there's no double team on Dez, Dak, you have to throw it to Dez. And again, that's going to open things up for Dak to be able to spread the ball around and use his legs as well. Get out the pocket, find someone open. I don't care if it's Witten. As long as he's over that first down marker, I'll take it, But I do think we have to make moves getting ready to get some guys out like Witten, and make that switch over like Cowboys Abroad agrees as well. It's time to move on. But let's phase him out. But let's get someone. I don't trust Rico yet. He's got to show me more in 2 preseason games and an injury. He's got to show me more. I think a rookie would definitely help. A Fumagalli, a Gesicki, that would help put the pressure on Rico and whoever else is challenging for that replacement Witten spot. So,
I think Cleveland Brown. I got to read your comments. Funny. Dez will have an affair with Odell's kicking net and cause a rift between him and Odell. You heard it here first. So guys, again. My Cowboys team bringing you guys all the news.
and I do have to say something that relates to Dez Bryant too, guys, because the Ravens, if you remember Willie Snead from the New Orleans Saints, okay, he's a restricted free agent with a tender, I think, on him. Well, the Ravens are giving an offer sheet to Willie Snead, and the Saints, because they're keeping Cameron Meredith from the Bears, they ended up signing him for a big contract. The Bears let him go. Saints are going to let Willie Snead go. So Willie Snead, now this is the domino effect. Because remember, who was the team that was in the running for Dez?
I know the Saints were there. The Ravens were the biggest.
The Saints are still there, but the Ravens were the ones that were leading it. Now it kind of takes him out of the Dez sweepstakes, so to speak. We want him in the AFC. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I know, but question for you though, because with that, does that mean again? Obviously, the Ravens were interested, like they showed heavy interest, but with doing this, I'm getting this vibe from. Like Dez is trying to keep his name out there, make sure he's staying relevant. So he's attracting attention. Teams are looking at him, but it sounds like no one is really like, hey, let's get Dez. No one seems to really want him.
It's been what? It's been about over a week. It's been a week today. A week today, and it's not been. A lot of people thought he'd be signed by now. There's obviously still issues with trying to get Dez. No matter how his talent on the field or what it was, there's still issues with the missing meetings. There's still issues with his antics on the sideline. There's still issues with the drop passes. Yes, I don't care about Dak, who threw them. At this point, I'm just saying, as Dez is a free agent, the drop passes, that stigma for the last 2 years has stuck to him. And some teams are are a little bit standoffish on signing him. Also, the money it's going to cost. It's not going to be like cheap either, guys. You got to put big money on him. And again, there was no real trade offers for him. There were trade offers, but nothing that was spectacular. I would have traded him away for 4th or 5th. If you're going to cut him, you might as well get a pick for that. I think the Cowboys messed up there, but at the same time, I think they wanted to give him. If they wanted to give him more respect, they should have kind of decided this earlier as well. So either way, Cowboy management kind of messed this up. But again, it seems almost like they're giving it to Stephen Jones, handing it over to Stephen Jones. It was a little fumble there, you know what I mean? It's going to happen. It's disrespectful to Dez. He's going to make us pay, I'm sure, eventually. But in the end, are you a Dez fan or are you a Dallas Cowboy fan? And in the end, we are Dallas Cowboy fans. When it comes to Dez Bryant, the Saints could be in the running now for him. I mean, Meredith got, Willie Snead got a 2-year offer sheet worth $10.5 million. So what I'm trying to say is that, if they're signing these guys for that price, they're obviously not looking for a lot of these teams are either running out of money or don't have the money to sign Dez to the big contract he's really looking for at this moment, So when you look at that, Willie Snead, he's got 2 years, $7 million, $3.5 in incentives. That's a lot of money, and Dez is not getting it. Dez is not getting that deal. Yeah. This is Willie Snead getting the deal. I mean, you can look at it wherever you want. Dez is the elite type of X-receiver. It's going to just dominate the 50-50 balls, the red zone, and they'd rather go Willie Snead.
He had to imagine. Yeah, I'm sure he had to imagine or he had to suspect that, once the Cowboys cut him, the reason he's so willing to play, take less money to play on a team that would face the Cowboys or whatever is because again, no one's offering that bigger money to him. It's no one's going to pay him what the Cowboys were paying him. And I hope he's not dumb enough to look for that, similar kind of contract.
And well, he's going to try to get something close to it. But he would take, he'll take 10.
Close is one thing.
10's a lot, though. 10 million is a lot, though. 10, 8, 9 million, it's a lot. Now,
he's, it's a lot, but when you still consider the overall of Dez Bryant, it's still not out of the realm of possibility. Look, if the Cowboys are going to pay Sammy Watkins that much money, if all these teams are out here signing receivers that that don't have half of what Dez had, I'm not saying Dez deserves all these millions of dollars, but he's not wrong in saying that he deserves. 10 million, I would say sounds about right.
No, we'll see. I mean, really,
yeah. Well, we're gonna hop over to Cowboys abroad in a minute.
Yeah. I just want to kind of say one last thing about this Dez thing once and for all the Dez lovers, the guys that are, Dak. I hate this whole. We're Cowboy fans, so we all want the Cowboys to win. But here's the thing, and I read this earlier today. I want to ask this to all the guys that are on Team Dez and want to talk about Dak and continuously, even up to this point, still talking about Dak. Okay, here's the thing: if you're a Cowboy fan, you got to move on. And that's number one. And number two is this: okay, for Cowboy fans in 2018, what's more important? To see what Dez does or what the Cowboys do. We can't control what Dez does. So we want to know, we want the Cowboys to succeed. Dez does great, that's great. But we don't care. We want the Cowboys to succeed. At least I want the Cowboys to succeed. First and foremost, I don't care about anything else until it's time to care for it, all right? If we're out of the playoffs and he's going to the Super Bowl, then go Dez, but I'm not rooting I'm rooting for the Cowboys. So huh? Oh, well, okay, let me just finish one thing here real quick though. I will say this, though, guys. Think of it like this. What if the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, all right, next year? And Dez, though, he gets 90 catches for 1,400 yards and 14 touchdowns and a Pro Bowl, but they don't win the Super Bowl. I mean, would you be mad about the fact that the Cowboys won the Super Bowl without Dez, or would you be happy that we won the Super Bowl, unfortunately, without Dez, but at least, Dez had a great year, but we won the Super Bowl? You understand? What's more important? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we got a special guest real quick. Come on over here. He's ready for his game tomorrow, guys. He's off to bed. Sit down with the crew.
Hey, guys.
Little G in the house. He's chilling like a villain.
Hi.
You ready for the game tomorrow?
Yep.
All right, we're going to rock out. Good night. All right, little man?
Wait, what are you,
Oh, yeah, what's the thing that you like to say that this channel is all about?
Go Cowboys!
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
So, that's awesome. So, Cowboys abroad, real quick, just if you have anything more to say about Dez, let's kind of wrap up the Dez thing. Let me know what you think. What we said, and I just basically, I know you said you kind of wrapped it up yourself about Dez and his thing, but in the end, I love Dez. Do you think he's going to be back in the Ring of Honor? Do you think he's going to be, a Cowboy for life in essence?
in football history, will he be known as a Cowboy?
I mean, he's a Cowboy, a true at heart, in my opinion. I think that's what we've seen from him. I'm curious to know what you think.
Hey, Dez got the most touchdowns in Cowboy history. You know, that alone ought to be enough to put you in the ring of. That alone ought to be enough to put him in the ring of honor. You know, so will he be back as a cow? Will he be back in the ring of honor? I would have a hard time believing he won't be. You know, particularly when he has a well-known respect for Jerry Jones, and him and Jerry Jones still particularly get along. That and the production that he brought to the Cowboys before he was there, he's earned his right, in my mind at least, to be in the ring of honor. So I think it'd be back. You know, as far as where he goes right now, it's immaterial. You know, I don't even really care if he goes in there. I don't really care if he goes to the NFC East. It doesn't really matter anymore. He's not part of the Cowboys organization. We went a different direction. You know, and really, it's not like Dez left us. You know, we let him go. So, you know, so he has the right to go where he wants to go. I think MCS is right. MCF fiance is right. About $10 million sounds about right for Dez. Somewhere, yeah, $9, $10 million. He'll probably pick up. Teams want Dez, but right now it's bad timing. The draft is next week. You know, so teams have to completely rework what they're doing in the draft. You know, look at the personnel they're gonna pick up versus Dez. You know, what they can get in the draft versus bringing in a free agent and the price tag. All that stuff has to factor in. And so right now it puts teams in kind of a turmoil to bring in a big name player with it being so close to the draft.
Yeah. No, great. I mean, yeah, I agree. 100%, man. Let me see. I'm putting us back here on the stream, boss. There we go, man. Thank you for those words of wisdom there, Cowboys Abroad. Much love for that. And I guess you have anything in the chat or?
Someone's asking what's up with Willie Snead. So Zachariah, thanks for joining us. And James Soros said, I would rather win it. I only wanted them to have a plan if they were going to cut Dez. No attachment to any one player.
And it's about the team. It's about the star in the end over the player. And I'm not saying anything bad about Dez. I'm just saying that, it's time to move on. We had our week of mourning.
Exactly. Throwing up the X, Cowboys Abroad.
But, we love him. Dez Bryant is a Cowboy for life as far as I'm concerned.
It doesn't take away, like you said, Tony Romo retired. It doesn't take away from his legacy. Dez is no longer with our team. It doesn't take away from the legacy, what he was able to do for the Cowboys when he was a Cowboy.
Correct. So, I agree. 100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I wanted to say something about Dez Bryant that he did say on Instagram last night. He was making, I think he posted, this was late last night. He posted something on there about some rap song or something. Someone said to him about going to the NFC East, he said, you don't dine with enemies, meaning like Odell Beckham and all that. You can't go outside. You couldn't go outside the division. So then Dez Bryant actually responded to this woman, and he said, you don't sabotage our year and lie and get mad whenever you call out some shit.
Fluff, ship.
Yeah. When you call out some stuff, then you get mad like a bitch and start lying. You don't win like that. That family-ish is the Cowboys preach about, especially that respect-ish that they've gone on came from number 88. I've been fighting for all of that ish for years. They don't know what loyal and respect is if it hit them in the face. That's Dez Bryant last night, just kind of lashing out at somebody who asked about going to the NFC East. Why would you do that? And again, he's stating the fact that he's the one that started the whole, get out there family situation. That's what he's claiming. Again, for better or for worse, he definitely is, like you said, as you guys, as the millennials say, salty about this whole situation. I can't blame him. Like Cowboys Abroad said, we let him go. So of course he's upset. He loves the Cowboys. He wants to be a Cowboy for life. But
I think we can read between the lines there and just see that at the end of the day, like we said, it was bad business the way the Cowboys handled this. It was disrespectful to Dez as an employee of the Dallas Cowboys. It was disrespectful the way they did it. Yes, they had every right to do it the same way that you if you work in a what's it called, the at will state, your boss can fire you for what they don't have to give a reason. You can walk into work, okay, you're fired by. They don't have to give a reason. You can quit. They don't have to give a reason. Right. Does it make it right? No, it's still shady. It's still wrong. So the way the Cowboys handled it is a big problem here, and it's obviously bothering Dez. Like the way it was handled, Dez is in his feelings about it because it's not.
And probably rightly so for the most part. But again, in the end, you got to also blame Dez Bryant in this thing because he's the one that missed meetings. He's the one that acted up. He's the one that that was pressuring a rookie / second-year quarterback to get on the ball every time. There's a lot of writing on the wall. We could go back in hindsight's 2020. In the end, this is it, guys. So we're going to move on from Dez now. All right, on to a new thing here.
Oh.
Randall Gregory. All right, Randy Gregory, number 94. As you can see in our thumbnail, I'm trying to put up the main news of the day. It wasn't much, but yesterday we spoke about Randall Gregory, number 94. I think there's still a chance he could play for the Cowboys. I said I'm not holding my breath. I'm not banking on him, nothing like that. But he, now with Taco Charlton, now with Coney Ely, it depends what happens with Crawford. I don't know. We also got Tapper back. If we get Randall Gregory back, we're gonna, with Tank, it really, he's gonna be rusty. It's going to take him. We got 4 guys in there that we can rotate. So in a rotational kind of defense that Marinelli kind of is running, overall, he's overseeing the whole thing. Linebackers, defensive linemen, we need as many as we can so we can rotate these guys in and out depending on packages, depending on situation, down and distance. There's a lot of things that you got to consider. So when I look at another weapon we can possibly have, number 94, Randall Gregory, the fact that, and here's, let me read to you guys. He's going to apply. We said this about a week. He's supposed to apply about a week after the draft is over. But I'm hearing that he might go even sooner than that and apply. The reason is this, guys. People have to remember, if Randall Gregory applies and is denied, all right, he has to wait 6 full months before he can apply again.
I mean, the season's gone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He can, if he does it now, he still gets one more shot to make it this year. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if he gets denied, he gets 6 months, which is basically season's kicking off.
Well, he said he was going to wait till right after the draft, right? So let's just say he does it April 30th, That means that the soonest he would be able to redo it if they denied him would be October 30th, right? Like 6 months from the day that he applied, or 6 months from the denial?
I think it's 6 months from the denial.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Either way, it's basically, either the end of October, end of November, more or less.
The thing was this, they purposely delayed this. This was done on purpose. This delay on Gregory's application. But again, people inside of Dallas, like actually the Cowboys in camp, all right, they're saying that they feel good. They're feeling good about this. Let me say this too, guys. Also, this is big. Randall Gregory, since July 2016, all right, has passed an unbelievably large number of drug tests. He has not failed one since then.
No 420 for him.
No 420. Today's 420, but not for him. And he should wait as long as he takes to be 420 for him. Actually, for Cowboys abroad, it's 421 for him. But yeah, Randall Gregory, he's at camp and he's ready to present to the NFL that the Cowboys are ready to take him back. He's ready to come back to the NFL. And again, I got to reiterate this, guys. I don't know how many, the number's not out there, how many drug tests he took. But the Cowboys are backing this up, and so is Randall Gregory's agent and his people, his reps. He has not failed a drug test since July 2016, and he's taken multiple as in like probably 10s or 20s, 20 up to probably 20 drug tests. I'm going to assume it's in the double digits in the last year and a half or so that he's been, almost 2 years taking drug tests. He has not failed one. That's a good sign. The Cowboys, camp, the Cowboys front office, they know this. And again, when you want to make sure of something else too, guys, it really makes a difference. Do you want to go after a high-powered defensive end in the draft after you're going to get Randall Gregory back, or there's a good chance he's going to come back? I'm not saying you bank on him, but I'm saying that there's a chance he comes back. So, look, he's going to be rusty, especially if he's denied and he comes back. Let's say he gets back in October. He's going to be rusty. It's almost going to be like a practice season for him. So I'm not banking on him at all. But if he does put his application in next week or so, and he's approved and is reinstated into the NFL, the Cowboys, I guarantee you, number one, will sign him for a team-friendly deal. That's number one. Number two, he'll probably have a million incentives in the deal to even max it out, because he's got to be on the field. That's number two. And, failed drug tests, you're done. We cut him and don't lose any money. So there's no risk in this. And number three, he might take a couple snaps away from Coney Ely and Taco Charlton. But you know what? We run a rotational defense. So you know what? You get those guys rotated in. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you need a more of a pass rusher. Maybe you want Coney Ely in there. Maybe you want more of a run stopper. So you throw. My point is that you got to go with the situation, and you just got to get all guys ready to go. Now you got Randall Gregory in there, and he's not rusty anymore. You got yourself another pass rusher. A furious pass rusher. Assuming he's off the weed, assuming he's gonna be reinstated, we got a shot. But I'm not gonna talk about the chances of him, or I can't wait till he's out there, until he's reinstated, until the Cowboys officially re-sign him, until he's a part of the Dallas Cowboys. Again, currently he is. but I want to see the reinstatement, and then we can get happier. You know what I mean? What do you think about that? I don't mean to blindside you Cowboys abroad, but really quickly, like a real gist on Randall Gregory. What do you think about him? You know, his you know, we know about his drug stuff in the past, but now July 2016 hasn't failed a drug test. You know, again, I'm not saying we put everything on him. I'm just saying that if he comes back, how do you feel about him?
I was living in Nebraska. I was living in Nebraska when Randy Gregory was playing for the Big Red out there, and he was a big deal. He was a big deal then, and I was a really Randy Gregory fan. I was excited for him to join the Cowboys. The problem I have is we on about chance number 5. You know, Cowboys are giving him chance after chance after chance after chance, and he's not made good on it. He's not made good on it. On any of the opportunities that we presented him. You know, it's a tough position. It's a tough position because I think he's a great football player. But I have problems. You know, at best I could do is just add him to a rotation. You know, and have a backup plan if Randy Gregory's out. But that means somebody else. You know, that means we have to pass up on somebody else because we have to insure ourselves against Randy Gregory. I would have let him go 2 years ago. It's just me. I would have cut him 2 years ago. But now he has for a couple of years now. We're saying he's passed drug tests for a couple of years now, and he's been on the straight and narrow for a couple of years now. You know, we can validate that. Hey, let's just put him in our training camp and see what happens.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I definitely see your side. And again, I think that the whole Randall Gregory thing, you know, I'm going to say this. The reason why the Cowboys kept him on the team and did not cut him 2 years ago was because it would have cost us more money than to put him on that PUP injured. It wasn't even an injured list. It was like a suspended inactive list. It's like we don't have to pay him and we don't get hit the salary cap. If we cut him, we owe him the money and we have to pay him part of that contract. So that was the catch on him. That's why we kept him on the team. And in a way, you know, hoping that, you know, again, it's almost like we had to force hope that he would be okay. Trust me, if he failed another test, he wouldn't even be on the team right now. But the fact that he's been passing tests since 2016, July 2016, the fact that, you know, we still kind of say, you know what, let's see what he's got. And I agree with you. We just have him as a rotational player. See if he could come through. Maybe next year, if he stays on the straight and narrow, you know, he'll be a bigger part, I think, of the team. And again, on a team that I think is going to get better on defense with Chris Richard and the passing game coordinator, he's going to be doing this for the whole team, from the defensive backs up to the linemen. So, you know, I think he's got speed. He's going to be rusty, but he's got speed. He's got power. He's got passion. He's a head hunting quarterback. You know, it's going to get your sacks, get pressure. I mean, forget Crawford. This guy would be the guy if he could stand a straight and narrow, and that's the big question. So, I mean, there's a couple. Another comment here. I was looking here that someone said that there's a momentum building in Dallas, in the Star.
Upward momentum, right?
Yeah, good momentum.
Clarify.
Yeah. So everyone in the Star at the Star is saying that they really see him getting his life back on track. Of course, they're probably hopeful on it, but they're also pushing for the commissioner or whatever to give him a break. But he's got a whole bunch of chances.
Yeah, Jerry Jones personally, you know, when he made that comment he made about a month ago, I think, you know, where he said, you know, he's supported Randy Gregory personally. Like, you know, they want the Cowboys from the top down. They want him to succeed. They want him to succeed with them. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
no,
he's.
for sure.
I think he's in a place now where he can succeed. Let's hope the league gives him the chance to do so.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think 2 years, almost 2 years of pass. Yeah, 2 years almost passing all the drug tests. I think he's worth one more shot, and let's see what he's got. I do think that, you know, when you look at I guess when you look at the sense that, you know, if you don't put all your eggs in this basket, I think we're okay when it comes to Randall Gregory. I don't think we have to draft a defensive end in the first round at all. And not because of Gregory. I think because we have a lot of guys in there already in the mix. Depending on what we do with Crawford, I mean, he could pay for all our rookies if we cut him. But we'll have to wait and see, guys, what happens with that side of things. Now, I did want to make a comment here about David Robinson. You guys know David Robinson, not the basketball player from the San Antonio Spurs, but the wide receiver guru all right, who's been training, who's been helping Dez train, who's been helping Noah Brown train, all right. He's also helped some of these rookies train, some of these rookie receivers that we are looking at in the draft. So receiver guru David Robinson talks about Dez Bryant's release, but also what Calvin Ridley offers and what he could offer to the Cowboys with the work that he's done with him. So, and also some other stuff he's done with Lance Lenore, who's still in the Cowboys. So here's what he said as far as Ridley is concerned. Quote, this is what David Robinson said, the receiver guru, about Calvin Ridley, possible first receiver picked in the draft. He said, quote, he has a great burst coming off of the football. He's so fast. He climbs up on the defensive back's cushion really quick. So he's going to be a very, very good vertical stretch guy. So that's something that could help the Cowboys. We want that stretching ability. Now he's 6'1", 180, not a big guy, not a Dez Bryant built guy. You remember that. So he's still kind of small, obviously. David Robinson also said about Calvin Ridley, quote, yes, he can be a number one receiver, whether it's with the Cowboys or any team. I definitely believe that he's probably the most polished receiver in this year's draft. So, take it as you will. He's got good routes and he does, but is he big enough to do what the Cowboys want him to do? Is he going to be another piece like an Allen Hurns? Mix him in throw him in the mix. I still say we don't have to go receiver in the first round. I really do not want to go receiver. We got to go defense. Now, David Robinson, this receiver guru, also spoke about Lance Lenore. Don't forget about him, guys. We got him. We got Katie Cannon. They're on the practice squad kind of futures list. They're on our team still. There are two more receivers we have on our team, but specifically about Lance Lenore, David Robinson said, quote, Lance has really good competitive drive about him. He has really good ball skills. He runs really good routes. In this league, you must be able to separate, and that's one thing that Lance can do. So he'll be battling in the preseason and in the training camp. He'll be battling for that receiver spot to get that distance. We need that separation to help Dak. So, again, he also said, quote, the things that he has cleaned up at the tail end of his routes, being low under control with his feet and arm mechanics on his speed outs, he's fixed those things, not winding up with his arms all over the place, indicating about what he's about to do. So he usually shows where he's going, but based on his arms, the way he runs the routes, he's cleaned that up, Lance Lenore. Let's see if that's going to improve. I really hope it does improve for him, because last year he was that guy that's like, oh, here he comes, and he never really produced in preseason, ended up making it to the practice squad, and then we got him again. We'll see how he goes. He's been working with this David Robinson guy. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to him at receiver. Another receiver I want to talk about, guys. People don't talk about him too much. We picked him up, aside of Allen Hurns, we picked up Deontay Thompson. And there's a little article I read back in the end of October about when he was with the Bills. Guys, remember, the Buffalo Bills wanted to re-sign this guy. All right? The Bears wanted to re-sign this guy. They both wanted him back. The Cowboys ended up grabbing him. The deal with him, he was playing the Bucs when he was with the Bills in 2017, and the Bucs could not stop him. Cannot stop Deontay Thompson. He got matched up one-on-one, and he was burning them all day long. Now, starting cornerback Brent Grimes was burned every single time. Tyrod Taylor, 27-yard gain for a touchdown here to Deontay Thompson. He was basically tearing up the Bucs that day. My only point is this: I don't know how many opportunities he got, but when he gets an opportunity on a one-on-one matchup, Deontay Thompson is very fast. He has very good hands. He can block, and he runs good routes. So again, maybe he's not excellent in any of these things, but he's very good in all these things. That's something to keep in mind when you have a T. Will who has a hurt foot, when you got a Beasley who's making rap records. So I'm just saying, right now, you got Switzer and Noah Brown waiting in the wings, and now you got two more guys, Hurns and Deontay Thompson, who are gonna make some noise on the Cowboys for sure. I truly believe that, and when it comes to the draft, I do believe that I don't want to go receiver in the first round. I think I actually saw here, we talk about Will Hernandez and a couple other guys, a guard of some sort. I'm looking at this right now from Cowboys camp. They're actually saying that they're actually kind of distancing themselves from the guard position in the draft. So they're not going to address that at number 19 is the point. So it could change, but again, it just sounds like, again, I don't want to say this again, this is cliche about the writing on the wall, but it seems like the Cowboys are not going to go with an offensive guard. It seems like when you talk about Derwin James, if he's there, you can bet your ass he's going to be drafted, but he's not going to drop past 10. Past 7, he probably won't drop. So now, who do we go? Is there a safety we're going to grab in the first round? No. Linebacker, a little bit thicker there. We got Roquan Smith, you got Tremaine Edmonds, you got Rashaan Evans from Alabama, and you also got Leighton Vander Esch, which I do not like. But I think at the very least we go Evans. If we're going to go on the first, my opinion is if we can get Derwin James, you go linebacker, in my opinion. or if you have to go at 19, or you trade down 5 picks, get yourself another third rounder. Trade down 10 picks, get yourself another second rounder. You understand what I'm saying? And you still can pick at the end of the first, and you get a lineman. Now I don't mind getting Isaiah Wynn or getting Van Der Esch, even if that was the case. I'd rather wait a little later. We got 2 second-round picks and a end of the first-round pick. We can build a lot with that, in my opinion. Cowboys abroad. I'm going to throw that over to you. A little draft roundup from your side of things. We've been talking draft so much. Let's come around the corner. We're going to be here. Myself, fiance, going to be live in Dallas, man. Your hometown, Cowboys abroad. Even though you're overseas, abroad. Much love. Thank you. But yes, we're going to be there. We're going to be we're going to try to go live as best we can. So hopefully you'll be watching us live at the draft. But here's the thing. What do you think we need to do with our first pick? What do you think we need to do with the draft in general? Break it down for us.
Well, I think the writing's on the wall. I think the writing's on the wall that we need a linebacker, defensive tackle, or safety. With our first round pick, and then our first couple rounds. The reason I say safety, even though we have some disagreements, I say safety because we plan on moving Byron Jones. To corner. We got a Wooze, and we got Lewis. Our corners are tightened up. No, but who's that leaving our secondary for safety? No, we're gonna roll with X Woods. I can see him being a starter. But then, we got to pick between Kayvon Frazier and Heath, and neither one of them has demonstrated the ability to be a full-time starter. Both of them were exceptional. I would even go online and say exceptional special teams players, but and maybe good role players in the safety spot. But none of them demonstrated to be the ability to be a full-time starter. So we need somebody that can come in and lock down that safety spot. First round, if I had to pick, I had to pick in my hand, I would say linebacker. I mean, it's obvious the injury that Lee is injury prone, stays in the hurt locker, and we lost Hitchens. We lost our guy. We like to plug in a lot.
What do you think about Hitchens? Talk a little about Hitchens.
Hitchens. In my mind, we should have kept Hitchens. Because he could play all three positions. He can move in any position and cover down when we had injuries.
So for $9 million, what do you think about $9 million?
Well, he was our Sean Lee. He was our Sean Lee insurance. Me personally, if I got a guy that can play all three positions, and suddenly I pick up somebody that can't. Now I gotta play 2 players. I gotta pay 2 players to make up for that. So I don't really see the big deal in the $9 million. I don't see the big deal in the $9 million. It's just probably worth $6.5, $7 million. But an extra $2 million, if you gotta bring in another guy to cover down on some gaps that you're missing when Hitchens is out, then it's the same amount of money. It just spread in more ways. And takes up another space on your roster that you wouldn't have to carry if you had Hitchens. So me personally, I think we should just pay the money and kept Hitchens. But that's water on the bridge. With Hitchens gone, Wilbur gone, which was kind of a filler guy when we had problems. We don't have anything to protect us from injury at all, and we lost a lot of experience. We lost a lot of experience. Jalen Smith, as well as he's playing, and I'm thankful. I'm happy with where he's playing. But the fact of the matter is, he had a serious injury. We don't know if he's gonna be able to hold up from that. We don't know if he's gonna have a setback. From that. We don't know. We don't know what we're gonna get out of him this year. We're hopeful. We're optimistic, but we don't know that. And so. There's a lot of question marks and a lot of holes in that linebacker spot.
No,
I think that's the number one place that we need to focus on. That we should probably get a linebacker first round, and maybe another one in the third or fourth round. 2 linebackers that can play this year because we are going to need them. And for defense on the defensive tackle, Defensive tackle, we let go of Mariota. Not a big loss, but we let him go. But we got Brian Price. We got Brian Price and Collins. That's all we got at defensive tackle spot. We got to have somebody that can step up the middle and stop the run. You know, I don't have to tell any of you that we had 5 games. We had 5 games that teams scored over 30 points on us. You know, we had people running. We had running backs getting 100+ yard games on us. We couldn't stop the run. You know, not with our defensive tackles, not with our linebacker core, because we were injured and banged up in the linebacker core. So, defensive tackle, linebacker, safety. Those are going to be our first three round focuses, maybe even 4th.
So you say we're definitely going hard on defense. What you're saying, I can't agree with you more. I love your comment about Hitchens, the fact that you're paying too. I do agree with some people in the chat that the Chiefs overpaid, and you said that they overpaid. But when you're paying 2 guys to make up for what he did, I can see your point as well, and a roster spot as well. Also, we did bring in Joe Thomas from the Packers. Now, to me, he has 8 sacks 2 years ago. He had 7.5 last year. He's more of he looks like a safety almost. When he comes in there, he's going to play some sub packages. So you got him in there. You still got Damian Wilson, who I believe is just a backup for run stopping. But I like Brian Price to run stop. The one technique we got Malik Collins and we got David Irving.
Yeah.
But
the big thing that you touched on, at least, that always stands out to me, is the fact that linebacker.
Yes.
I'm still extremely surprised at how many people are just completely disregarding, our weakness at linebacker. And like you said, we did this in our earlier draft, but, you said it as well, you wouldn't mind double dipping at linebacker if we go, like another one in the 3rd or 4th round or something like that. It's, you said, you were talking about it in the chat too, that Sean Lee's hurt. He's hurt all the time.
And Jalen
Smith,
injury,
I see you guys in the chat. I'm just as excited as you, Marcus and Brad. No one wants to see Jalen Smith ball out more than us Cowboy fans, but he's like a bad step away from having another serious, potentially career-ending injury. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have a question one more question about this draft thing with Cowboys World before we.
Yeah, actually, wait, before you do that.
Oh, go ahead.
Everyone here, we have 40 of you guys here in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us here. Make sure to hit like on the stream. It's one of the best ways that you guys can help support us, and subscribe. We're here every single day. Yes. Let's keep the family growing.
Yes.
And hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss when we're live. Like I said, we're here every day, but sometimes YouTube is broken. So you want to follow us on Twitter, My Cowboys Family. We post there every time we go live, and we like to post, some other little tidbits. But real quick, Bleed Silver, thank you, man. I said you bought one of the shirts. You got to let us know when you get it. Guys, we do have these MCF shirts here. Cowboys Abroad rocking his MCF shirt. He actually has, guys. A very funny story behind that. Cowboys Abroad has an exclusive, one-of-a-kind, never again produced ever My Cowboys Family shirt. He was the first one to buy it, guys. And then the shop basically said, no, you can't do it that way. So we
show it to us.
Did a redesign. These are the ones, but Cowboys Abroad, go ahead, show it off. There it
is.
I
love it. Man, I wish we could have kept that.
I know. My Cowboys Family might have something just like it soon, hopefully, but it's going to be tough, guys. We do our best with Cowboys Abroad. Thank you, man, for all the support, and thank you guys for your support as well.
I do have a question for Cowboys Abroad real quick here before we move on to the next topic, and as we take some more questions from the chat, I want to ask Cowboys Abroad, what do you think we're going to do about receiver now in the draft? Like, I heard you say defense. What about receiver? Wide receiver? Cowboys going to go receiver, but where do you think they're going to go? What do you think they should go? Do you know any names that you're thinking about in your head about receiver? I'm not a big college guy, so I kind of did a lot of reviewing and stuff. I like some later guys. It seems to me there's no number one receivers in this draft, like a number one starting X receiver. There's no Dez Bryant's out there, but there's many. I'm talking about 10 to 15 number twos or developmental number twos and number ones, eventually. But there's no impact number one guys. So I think it's deep in number two receivers, but very, 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 nothing there for when it comes to number one receivers. So, but with that in mind, I guess, and with the fact that the Cowboys have Allen Hurns, Deontay Thompson, T. Will, Beasley right now, those two guys right now, Switzer and Noah Brown, Lance Lenore and Katie Cannon. What do you think we do at receiver there, Cowboys Abroad? Let us know. Break it down.
me personally, I really, I was talking to you earlier about ball distribution and having multiple receivers and multiple targets. And right now we have 7 receivers in our arsenal. Of those 7 that we have, I don't see any reason why they couldn't take the load. I don't really see a sense of urgency. At receiver myself. If we're gonna go with multiple targets, hey, hit the open guy. I don't really see the need. I don't really see the need to spend an early round draft pick on a receiver. That's just me. And what I think the Cowboys are gonna do, we'll probably do something stupid like trade away our 4th and 5th round picks and move up and get Calvin Ridley. But me personally, for me personally, if I was gonna pick a receiver, maybe 3rd, 4th round, you can still find athletic guys. Maybe you might hit on one that performs well. Maybe a guy had some off the field issues like Jordan Lewis, and he's just a good buy at that round. But I don't really see a need to rush in to get a receiver. But Cowboys, they'll probably trade up to get Calvin Ridley, or they'll pick one in probably the 3rd round.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, when you say the Cowboys would probably do something stupid, it makes me have like a seizure a little bit.
Here's the thing that I think they're gonna do that's stupid.
It's
It's
true.
either gonna be what you said, they're gonna do something dumb and try to trade up for Calvin Ridley, or here's my thing. Do you think Courtland Sutton and all the interest you've shown in him, do you think it's kind of a red herring? It's like we're not really as interested as it seems, or do you think that it's actually the opposite? We're really, really interested, and that's what we're going to go for if we do something dumb, like go receiver in the 1st round.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Cowboys are going to try to make an attempt at a receiver in the 1st round. They like Courtland Sutton, but I don't think it'll be him. I think Courtland Sutton is the guy they're looking at in the 2nd round. I think if he's there in the 2nd round, I think the Cowboys will go for him then. When you said trade up, I was like, okay, well, we trade up a bunch of picks and get Derwin James. I would take that. But don't trade up to get Calvin Ridley. Do not do that to us, Cowboys Nation out there. I'm sorry, some people want him really bad. I'm telling you, we have so many good number 2s and developmental number 2s. There's no reason to go grab one. I agree 100% with you, Cowboys abroad. What was that?
I don't like trading up. I don't like trading up, but I would go along with trading up to get Derwin James. I would also go along with trading up to get going up to get a stellar linebacker. But don't do something stupid. Go up and get a receiver, or go up and get a running back, or go up and get a tight end. Some shit we don't need. I mean, forgive me.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I slipped earlier. It's all right. It's all good, man. It's all good. Don't worry, man.
Kids are in bed. It's late night. We're good.
And by the way, guys, we got Vach Lombardi in the house. Chill out. Guys, check out his site and go sub up to him if you haven't already. And to the rest of the crew out here, guys, Space Cowboy 17. All the links are below. DJ Crown J's 5th Quarter Cowboys. We got LL, Cowboys Legend 27. Go up to him, subscribe. Dallas Cowboy Football News, who we should be teaming up with at the draft, guys, along with a whole bunch of other people. Some of you guys out there, some other YouTubers. It's gonna be fun. I cannot wait. And of course, Dallas Cowboy fan 1980. Will check him out, guys. He's fantastic.
So to the whole crew, guys.
Yes.
And I want to catch real quick, just 2 or 3 comments here from the chat. Let me see. Real Dallas Cowboy fan says, offensive lineman 1st round. Brad Baker's been saying this since early in the stream. It's all a smoke screen. They're picking Vita Vea. I wouldn't be mad. I'd love, if the Cowboys.
I would take Vita Vea will probably be gone, but I would not mind him.
Yeah, I wouldn't
defensive
mind.
tackle inside there, like Cowboy Broad said. Mm-hmm. He called that. That's one of the spots we need to get fixed, and he would fix it immediately. He was one of our favorite guys.
Yes.
But the fact that his hype has jumped so much, he's probably top 12, top 15 guy.
So now Joe Boo said Cortland is going to be a Cowboy, and that is not smart. So I really hope you're wrong. And Cleveland Brown.
He's Des Bryant 2.0. Lesser. Why would you get rid of a Dez? I guess the money. I guess you're getting a cheaper Dez. But at the same time, I agree with you guys. I think.
Look, I don't care how much money you save. If the guy's not going to perform, don't get him. Like the guy needs to do the job that you need him to do. You can't draft the guy to be a number one wide receiver if he can't be that for you. Well, we need one now. So anyway, Cleveland Brown said we're going to get a safety in the draft, maybe in the first round. Didn't they move Byron Jones to cornerback?
Yes. So,
yes.
I want to address that real quick. Getting the safety is great. We can say let's get a safety, but the point is, do you get a safety in the first round when there's not a first round value to him? We can still get the same guy in the second round. We get the same guy in the third round.
And again,
so we can't draft
depth.
a safety in the first round if Derwin James is gone. Because
and
really,
the
he's the
depth-
only standout on that group. Go ahead. Was that
No. Just
Oh,
the depth
at
there
safety.
again. The drop off between where linebackers are at in the first round and safeties. I mean, if you don't get a linebacker here in the first round, I'm not saying they're all going to suck.
Well,
but the
second round guys, you got Malik Jefferson, you got James Baker, you even got maybe third round Fred Warner. Those are linebackers. That's it. After that, you got to get Josie Jewell. You got to get Josie Jewell. You got to get other guys out there that have ones. Even Shaquem Griffin. Again, I think he's going to be picked too high for what he's really going to be worth this year. Maybe in the future, maybe in 2-3 years different. But this year, I'm just saying the impact linebacker is going to help your team out right now the way we want and need them to. You could look second round guys. I like Malik Jefferson, but he's not as versatile as James Baker. James Baker plays the strong side, so he would replace Damian Wilson. That'd be an immediate replacement right there, and you can just have Wilson as a backup. Or you can go with Fred Warner, Fred Warner can play all three spots. I think he's basically middle, but he can play all three spots. So Mike, my point is that I would not mind any of those guys if we pick them wisely. I don't mind getting is it Tremaine Edmonds or Terrell Edmonds in the not Tremaine.
Well, Vod said Hearns is a cheaper Dez.
But Hearns is versatile, so Hearns can play the X, the Y, or the slot. And so I think the Cowboys were looking at that when they went after him in free agency. They were looking at somebody who could play all the positions, all the receiver positions, all the receiver spots. So I'm not really well-versed on all these other guys. My personal favorite still when it comes to receivers from the videos that I've seen, and I haven't seen that many. I'm not a college expert. I listened to Vacha. I liked his breakdown of the receivers the other day, but I will say I personally like EQ for the Cowboys in the draft the way it falls down. I like a possible, Gallup.
Yeah, I was going to say the three names Vach mentioned were Pettis, Gallup, and Hamilton.
Pettis.
I actually like
Hamilton.
Pettis a little more.
All four of those guys.
Again, it's so subjective when it comes to these guys. But, if he does somehow make it to the third round, I wouldn't be mad.
Here's the thing. I can see
first or second round for a receiver.
We also never know how it's going to go when it breaks down. How it's going to be a rush of receivers, and we're going to be like, uh-oh. But the thing is I think after the third round, we need to wait after the third round. We still can get Gallup. We can still get Pettis. Maybe we can still get EQ. We can still get. I'm going to throw out some other names. You guys not like this as much, but I'm just saying like an Antonio Callaway later on. His skill, if he can stay straight and narrow right now, and that's a big if. He's going to drop. He might be. We got him in stupid ass mock drafts, but we got him in the 6th round. My point, if in the 5th round, you might have to grab him. My point is, if you're not going to focus on it, and you're not going to get a top tier guy. If you can get a top tier guy, I say a top tier guy, not Calvin Ridley, not DJ Shark, okay, not Cortland Sutton. I say DJ Moore. That's the one I like. He does a little of everything, and he does it all well. So to me, if the Cowboys have to, and I don't want them to even draft him, but if they're gonna draft someone, I will be disappointed. If at least if it's him, I'll be a little less disappointed, and looking forward to what DJ Moore can do. But when it comes to we could have got. Look, the Cowboys also have talked about getting more than one receiver in the draft. So if you see it happen, you might see the Cowboys go Cortland Sutton. I don't want to, but let's say they go him in the 2nd round, and we can get EQ in the 4th, or we can get Pettis or Gallup in the 4th. I'm just saying they might double dip there. I still think we got to focus on defense. I agree with Cowboys Abroad. I agree with most of you guys out there. We got to go defense. Maybe an offensive guard in those first couple of rounds. I do think that's the only offense we go. And then as we go into the 4th, we can go receiver. We can go tight end in the 4th and 5th. There's going to be guys there. There's going to be Gesicki maybe there. For sure, Fumagalli will be there. And you're going to have a couple other tight ends available. Chris Herndon from Miami Hurricanes. You got some guys who can play deeper in these rounds at tight end to eventually push Rico, push the Cowboys tight end core, and push Witten out of there and bring in the next generation, whether it's Rico or the rookie. And again, that's tight end. And receiver, you got so many deep number 2s that you can go 4th, 5th round and still get yourself a quality guy. Like Cowboys Abroad said, if we're going to spread the ball out and not have a number 1, and that's what we said the other day, having a true number 1, it forces Dak to throw it to the X receiver. So if we have a mixture, it might be a little easier for Dak to kind of just relax and just pick his open receiver rather than throw it to the guy he has to throw it to because Linehan said the X guy is not doubled, throw to him. And Dak is going to say, okay, because that's what Dak does. Dak is learning still, is developing. And these guys coaching, I don't think they're doing the best job in developing Dak Prescott. I wish it was better. Now, I want to ask, I got to go back to Cowboys Abroad. Is there a couple questions?
I mean, I want to touch on a few.
Cowboys Abroad, stay near because we're going to jump to you in a minute. But I'm going to ask you about Jason Garrett and the coaching staff because that's one of the biggest disputes that we here at My Cowboys family have with the fantastically unbelievable Cowboys Abroad. So we're going to flip back to him in a minute. They're going to get some questions first from the fans out there, the whole crew out there. I just think that Jason Garrett, to me, since the first day, I've been on his back about it. I'm talking about back when he was the play calling, offensive coordinator, whatever he was. He was getting paid more than Wade Wilson. I was like, I didn't see enough from him yet to really, give him the reins to the keys to this car, the Cowboys car. And you can see he's kind of driven it all over the place at 8-8 records most of the time. And when the players' abilities have outdone the coaching, that's when we've been successful. Or in 2016 when we got conservative. And we kind of just ball control. We didn't know how these rookies were going to be. We just lost Romo for the whole year, basically, or half the year. We had this new rookie in the 4th round. So the conservativeness actually helped us. I believe we should go more that way. Back to 55% run, 45% pass, rather than the other way around, which is what happened this past year. So, again, let's hit some questions, and we're going to jump to Cowboys Abroad about this Jason Garrett question. And then we're going to start wrapping it up. So just give me the rundown, guys. We got a coach tomorrow, our last regular season game for our little Cowboys.
Let me see. Broken Nerd said DJ Moore is younger than Ridley, which is a bigger plus. Vach said we're running the ball 40 times between Zeke, Dak, and Rod. We're going to throw about 18 to 25 times. Give me the O-line. So Dexter Green said, I'm cool with left guard at 19, just not a wide receiver in the first.
Me too. I can take.
Agreed.
Exactly. That's Agreed. I take a guard, even though it's not, I'll take a Will Hernandez, Isaiah Wynn. I'll take one of those guys over a receiver in the first round. Great comment by both Vach and who was the other
Dexter.
one? Dexter.
So Feigning JP said, look, people, just give me someone that can catch the ball with speed and shake some shoes off. Tongue twister.
Pettis.
So
it's 4th round.
There's guys out there who can do that.
There's definitely guys. EQ, if you want a big guy, EQ can do it too.
Yeah, Golden Garrett said DJ Moore is NFL ready. Broken Nerd.
I think he's the most NFL ready out of all these guys. Even though David Robinson said he's the most polished, Calvin Ridley's the most polished receiver. I still think that DJ Moore.
Polish isn't enough. Just because you're shiny doesn't mean it's all good. It doesn't mean it's all good under there.
He's supposedly best ready for the NFL, but I think because of his frame, I think that's where he's going to lack a little bit more as far as getting to where he wants to be. I think DJ Moore has a faster upside to that spot. So that's my 2 cents. I wish I was a good breakdown of college film and stuff, like the way Law Nation and Vach do their thing when it's breaking down film or breaking down these rookies. But, I think that when it comes to our Cowboys and what we have to do out there, I think that we have a chance to do something this year, guys. But at the same time, there's also a lot of stumbling blocks, whether it's the players, whether it's injuries, whether it's coaching. So all these things,
we definitely have some uphill battles in that sense.
So is there anybody out there?
James Searle said yes, MCF. Draft a guard, Lyell at right tackle, and Fleming as Tyron's backup.
I like that. That's in the end, that's what I want. But what if we don't do that? Stephen Jones already said he'll play his best 5, which means you might see Fleming at the right tackle. You might see Lel Collins at the left guard. But and I don't think that's a good idea. But if they do that, the only saving grace is that by midseason, when you need somebody to replace, Tyron Smith, we can move either or of those guys, Cameron Fleming or Lel Collins, to that spot.
But like we said before, do you really want to mess up, and ruin anyone's hot streak there? We want them to do their best.
Then you have to go, who's the best backup after that? So when you look at that, you say, okay, well then we got Marcus Martin, who will have to play a little bit of guard, and he has some possible. He could probably start a game or 2 if we needed him to. I'm just saying,
he's
a
more
mix
of a
and
depth
match
guy.
in there.
He's more of a depth guy. But you know what? The Cowboys have made some good moves as far as depth to the O-line. But back to some of your comments. Let me see. DJ Calvin or Derwin James are my 3 at number 19, said Rack City. Again,
Derwin James without question.
Derwin James, the only player I would realistically consider moving up for in the draft. No, because Roquan's almost too unrealistic because we'd have to move up so far up the draft. I think Derwin James is a little more attainable, I guess, and we wouldn't have to lose or give up as much for him. So let me see. Brad Baker said, can we get Larry Allen's son to sprinkle some magic dust so he can play like his dad?
He's out there.
Marcus Rivers, the thing that makes the Steelers' offense so scary is speed and the running game. At speed, at receiver for the Cowboys, we're the scariest team in the NFL. So
Deontay Thompson's
Quest
pretty
Cowboys, Chris Dantzler in the house. Thanks for being here. I'm concerned about Jason Garrett's ability to handle and outcoach playoff caliber coaches. We're always concerned about that. We have to learn to, play against that.
Yeah.
So, and as our last comment here, Fading JP, every game will be watched real close. I mean, real close this year. And if we don't make it to the playoffs, we need to blow this thing up, and you can't blame it on Dez.
Hey, and that's the thing. You know what?
Yes.
A lot of heads are going to
No
roll.
more excuses, like I said.
Exactly. There's no scapegoat. The chopping block is right now set. You got
Can't cut Dez again.
You got Scott Linehan's head right here. You got Jason Garrett's head right here. The chopping block is right here. I'm just saying those are the first two to go, and then if Dak has a bad year, you can't really say if it's going to be Dak yet or not. We don't know because you don't know if it's going to be the actual. Is it going to be a coaching issue? Is it going to be an actual playing issue? Is it going to be Dak messing up because he doesn't know how to do his reads right? Then we got an issue. Then we got to start thinking about quarterback, possibly the next year. So a lot of things could happen, but I do believe that we are in decent shape with Dak. He's shown promise in his first full year. He almost won MVP with Zeke. In his second year, halfway through the season when he had his full offensive line, we were looking fantastic out there with Dak as the fourth best rated quarterback in the league until week 9, as it all went downhill when Tyron Smith went out. So, guys, and again, I say Zeke, but Zeke, we still had the rushing averages per year. We are over 4 yards, between 4 and 5 yards rushing per carry without Zeke. So it's not an excuse. The excuse is not an excuse. The issue was the offensive line, the depth. After the stars, we had nothing. Now, we helped it this year with Marcus Martin. We helped it a lot with Cameron Fleming. But I still think we need that guard to solidify it so we can use these guys as our backups. Instead of having to move all these guys around musical chairs and then have Lel Collins playing 3 different positions in 3 years. That's insane. So I do want to say, though, I want to jump this over to Cowboys Abroad. Now, I'm gonna ask you, Cowboys Abroad,
We're going to speak the controversy.
about all these things here, but mainly about the coaches. I want you to give us give me a full breakdown because we don't get to talk like this ever. We get to chats, little things here and there about Garrett.
We got Okoye in the chat. Thanks for
joining.
Okoye
in the house.
Change our scheme to suit Dak. And again, cutting Dez is part of that. When they say Dak friendly, these are the things the Cowboys are trying to do.
I just think that there's no scapegoat now.
No.
So now there's no scapegoat. And with Dez Bryant, being there, and we talked about this earlier, Okoye, so if you missed it, you can check it out. Check out his videos too. Again, I see what you're doing and what you're pointing out. Some things, as far as Dak and Dez are concerned, the connection is not there. There's no one to blame it on for the Cowboys coaching staff. I think the coaching staff is the issue here. I look past Dez. I look past Dak. The issue is the coaches. The reason, and I'm going to hand this off to Cowboys because I know he's opposite on this, but I think, I'm going to say it again, the coaches are the problem, the main problem on this team, and the reason I say that is because, let's start from the beginning, coin flip. That's a Jason Garrett call, and I'm sorry, it might sound stupid, but when you make adjustments at halftime, and you give them, you let them score, bookend us right before the half, and then right after the second half starts, and they score 10 points in that time frame or 14 points. We had leads against the Rams and the Green Bay Packers, and we had double-digit leads, 2-score leads, not double-digit, but I think we had a 9 and a 12-point lead, and we blew them right before the half, and then into the second half, in the third quarter, when they got the ball first. We started throwing. That's coaching. That's Linehan. Jason Garrett never stepped in. We punted. They got the ball back, and they just took over. Rams and Green Bay, both games back-to-back. It was a similar kind of situation. The play calling at the end of the Green Bay game, we had a chance, guys. Look at the fourth quarter of that Green Bay game. We ran the ball down their throats in that fourth quarter, and we got to 3rd and 2. It was a run pass option because of the coaching. The coaching tells Dak, here's what you got to do. Dak has to still rely on his coaches. He's a second-year guy last year. He's not going to go against the coaches. So when he sees the guy drop into the box and 8 in the box, he knows he has to throw to Dez Bryant. That's what happened last year. He was told, listen, I watched that play multiple times. You can't blame that on Dak. That's on the coaches.
The rest of the situation wouldn't have happened if Switzer hadn't fumbled.
It's a lot. You got to rebound from those things. That's why we could have things. I'm gonna give it to Cowboys Abroad in a minute. Definitely, you're right about that. Switzer's fumble changed the tone of the game. But we were back in that game. We lost 35-31, if I recall correctly. We had control of that game. We gave it away. And again, the Rams. You see what they did. They had a fantastic season. It wasn't like a lucky win for them at the time. We didn't know what they were going to really be about. They're a good team. They have a great defense. We scored 31 points on them. What I'm trying to say is this, guys. I mean, we honestly, we didn't run Zeke that much. We went past crazy in the second half and we lost the game. We helped give it away give away the momentum with the Switzer fumble, but we lost the game because of the coaching in the second half. We lost the Green Bay game because of the coaching. And guys, I got to finish this.
I know.
But that Dez Bryant pass in the end zone to stop the clock. I'm not blaming Dez. I'm not blaming Dak. I'm blaming the coaches. That stopped the clock and that stopped the timeout. Possibly a first down and goal, and then making the Green Bay Packers use their last timeout, and then running the clock down to under 30 seconds. We score. I don't know if we would have scored, but we give it away with a minute and 15 seconds of Aaron Rodgers. We're going to lose. And that's what happened. So, in my opinion, these coaches continuously, whether it's the coin toss and lack of adjustments because of that, and those things are intertwined. When you when you win the coin toss and you decide to get the ball first, you're giving the other team a chance to bookend you before the half and in the second half, and then your coaches are scrambling up for adjustments. Jason Garrett is not a very good adjustment coach. Neither is his staff. I feel that's a fact. Cowboys abroad. Whew. Okay, it's up to you, Mal, to break it down for us and tell us why you think Jason Garrett is the king of all coaches. I'm messing with you. I know you don't think that, but tell me why you actually like Jason Garrett and the coaching staff over our choice of words.
Well, at the end of the day, Jason Garrett, man, he's not the greatest coach in the world. He's not the greatest coach in the world. I don't really think I don't think he's the best. I don't think he's the best coach in the NFL. He's the best coach in the NFL. He makes mistakes. He makes mistakes just like other coaches do. I mean, but at the end of the day, players got to play the game. They got to be ready for the situations at hand. And they got to execute. They got to execute, and they got to put their best foot. They got to put their best foot forward. They got to put their best foot forward. When a player goes in and fumbles or goes in and misses the catch, takes the ball up in the air, there's nothing the coach can do about that. A coach give you a game plan, prepare you for the game plan, prepare you for the game plan. You put you through practice the whole week, and you go in there and blow it, That's on the players. They gotta be accountable for that. Do the coaches make mistakes? Sure. Do they need to make some? Could they make some better adjustments? I give you that. They can make some better adjustments. But are we at a point? Are we at a point that we're ready to say Garrett's a bad coach? No. Garrett's a winning coach. He's got us on the right track. And we're moving forward. We put together a system in which we can win with. And we're poised for success. And we want to get rid of the guy that architected it, right before the magic happened. If we look at it in reality, Garrett's been a coach now for 7 years. 7 years, maybe 8 years now. His first 8 years now. His first 4 years, won 8-8, and then he had three out of 4 winning seasons. Is that a guy that you just throw in the towel on? Because I know another coach. Out of his first 6 seasons, he had 5 losing seasons when he was with the Cleveland Browns.
Belichick.
You know who that coach is?
Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
Yep.
We ready to throw the towel in on Bill Belichick. What about Tom Landry? His first 6 years, he needed time to bring in his players, put in the system, get his stuff implemented. And then once he put the system in place, got his players in, got his guys in, he went 20 years of winning seasons. I think it's just.
Fiance has a question for you actually on that, and actually I was going to say, the fact that Tom Landry took over a team that was a brand new team. You have to start from the bottom there. So of course that's a different situation. And you look at Belichick. His players were not as good as our players. So that's my question to you. And Fiance is going to ask you a question, but let her ask it. But I was just going to say that our players are better than the Cleveland Browns players were for Belichick at that time. So I think there's a difference there as well. I understand your point. I think that we've given him 10 years under as a Cowboy coach of some sort, Jason Garrett, and he really has nothing to show for it.
But if you look at all those years, we didn't have a line. And before, look at all those years we didn't have a line. He was starting from the bottom. That's why for his first 4 years, he drafted 3 All-Pro linemen. He put in what he needed to be successful. And then he capitalized on that. He capitalized on that by giving us a 12-4 season, a 13-3 season. Is
that him though? Is that the players? Is that him or the players?
2015, 2015, we took it down. We took it back. 2015, we took a step back when Roma went down. You know, we wasn't prepared. We wasn't prepared for that. But other than that, Gershman reason.
All right,
You look at this last season. We went 9-7. We went 9-7. Even if you want to say,
I'm gonna say 8-8. You know I say 8-8.
let's just say 8-8. I mean, but even if you go 8-8, when you look at the fact that we had the street talking every week, we had the street talking every week. We had five Pro Bowlers go. We had 5 Pro Bowlers go down. With the injury to Tyron Smith, that really set us back. Was Tyron Smith's injury the coach? Was Zeke Elliott's absence the coach? Was David Irvin's suspension really the coach? No.
No, but my thing is Jason Garrett preaches the next man up. He preaches next man up, right? But where's the next man up? We have no man up. After Sean Lee goes down, we have no man up.
Now, if we're saying now somebody needs to be held accountable. Well, we held those people accountable. We held those people accountable by getting rid of the position coach that was responsible for that. We got rid of Frank Pollard. We got rid of the secondary coach. We got rid of strength and conditioning coaches. We did things in the coaching situation because obviously, organization, we wasn't satisfied with what we had in the coaching department. But that doesn't mean we changed the core of what we're doing. We believe in what we're doing. Run first, great ball distribution, hit the open guy.
Fair enough. I understand what you're saying. Fiance has a quick question for you, though, right now.
Actually, I'm going to hit you with 3 points. So I want to mention 3 specific things you said. So 1, the Cowboys got rid of the people, they are holding people accountable. Okay, so let's start with that. You really legitimately feel like the Cowboys as an overall organization has held Jason Garrett accountable for some of his mistakes, the things that we can clearly point and say, coaching staff, you made a decision and you chose wrong. And I'm talking about decisions that have been happening consistently, mistakes that Garrett's consistently made over the past 8 years. Do you feel the Cowboys have held him accountable? 2, you said that the Cowboys, are holding their players accountable and the people accountable by getting rid of the ones who aren't doing their jobs. I mean, they got rid of Dez. And again, I think we can all agree, he had responsibility, but would you say that, he was almost, again, like scapegoated?
He was saying the coaches. So we got rid of those coaches.
I know,
when is the head coach responsible?
Well, have we held Jason Garrett accountable for his mistakes in a genuine way? Because I would feel the answer to that would be yes if those things were to improve. But I feel like we've seen Jason Garrett consistently make the same mistakes over and over again and been allowed to make them. You made me forget my 3rd point because you interrupted. That's what happens, guys, when I'm on a roll. But let's start with that, Cowboys Abroad. Do you feel the Cowboys have held Jason Garrett accountable? And would you include Dez into one of those, players that was held accountable, so to speak? Wait, I think we're having some audio.
Yeah, let's be louder. Sorry. No. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I think you just gotta unplug the thing. I think he's just talking into the. Can't hear him. But yeah, we're writing in the chat. All good. So, do you remember your 3rd point? No.
No.
Let us know when you're good, Cowboys Abroad. We'll flip it back to you when you're out there.
So here, real quick, let me see. What year are you referring to when you say we didn't have a line? So
that's a good question for Cowboys Abroad. And that will be a 3rd point. So accountability is Des part of it, and when didn't we have the offensive line for Jason Garrett set? I know we got a couple guys, more recently, but there were a couple of times, where we, there wasn't really a time when we were missing a lot of good offensive linemen. We still had Colombo, I think, back then, and we had, of course, Free for a little bit back in the early years of Garrett. Cowboys Abroad, we can't hear you. So you got to unplug the speakers or whatever.
Yeah, try talking now real quick if you can.
I think he is.
Man, we're gonna
Yeah, he plugged it in. So yeah, he plugged it in. Listen, we'll take a couple questions here from you guys if there's a couple questions there. But
audio thing figured out
yeah.
real quick. Let me see. So, let me see. What time is the draft next week? It is 8 p.m. Eastern. So adjust. Your thing there.
I wanted to say about that actually
Chris,
about the draft. Real quick about the draft, guys. Real quick. The draft is at AT&T, of course, Stadium, Dallas. Home of Jerry's World. But you know that every team is going to have their own section. They're actually going to separate every team in their own section in the stadium. So everyone's away from each other. And the Cowboys, every member of the Cowboys group that gets in, which is unfortunately not us, will receive rally towels and pom-poms. So we missed out on that, baby. I just wanted to say that just for those that are going to be there, you're going to get yourself some draft pom poms and towels. Yay, go Cowboys! Now Cowboys abroad. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry. We got you now. We didn't hear you before. That's why. But the points were reiterate.
So here, let's jump back real quick. So do you feel like the Cowboys have held Jason Garrett accountable when he keeps making the same mistakes over and over again? And do you think that Dez was one of the guys that was quote unquote held accountable, even though maybe all of it wasn't all on Dez?
And then somebody asked, the third point was, when was the offensive line bad when Garrett was there?
Yeah.
All yours, Cowboys abroad. Can't hear you. Can't hear you still. Hold on, guys. We're trying to get it going here. Gotta get the audio. Still can't hear him.
Here, maybe.
I think he has to unplug his thing, but.
Maybe try calling back. Would that work?
Hey, Cowboys abroad, we can't hear you. Can't hear you, Cowboys abroad.
Here, so how about this? I'm gonna go ahead and interact with the chat a little bit. If you want to hop over onto this and send a message.
Yeah, I will. Give me a second, guys.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, sorry about
can't hear
that,
him.
Cowboys abroad.
Gotta check your thing. Yeah,
He's
we gotta try to write. Guys, keep writing there. You can't hear him. He'll pick it up, and when we start hearing him, we'll talk with the Cowboys abroad. I really want to hear what you got to say about this. This is what I was waiting for. The Jason Garrett thing. Now I hear you. Now I hear you. Now we're good. Now Now you can answer those three questions, man. Now we got you.
Man, I was going off, man.
It sucks when that happens.
Jason Garrett, let's rock and roll. I'm ready. Hit me with it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the question I would ask back to you is, held accountable for what? The first 4 years he put his players in place, put his system in place, and then he gave you 3 out of 4 winning seasons. And then when we need to make adjustments, we need to make some changes. Jason Garrett held the staff accountable. For us holding him accountable, at the end of the day, the name of the game is winning. And he's doing that. I mean, if you look at his record over the last 4 years, we're 38-26. That's pretty damn good. If you look at his winning percentage, he's 5.0 overall. He's 5.58, which is only 0.8% less than Jimmy Johnson. So, in my mind, it's not that big of a deal. For us making mistakes, people gonna make mistakes. He's not gonna be perfect. Players make mistakes. Coaches make mistakes. If you fire the receiver every time you drop the ball, you wouldn't have any. Same with coaches. If you fire one of them every time they make a bad adjustment or they get our game plan, you won't have any. But at the end of the day, when everything settles and the dust settles, where are you at? And at the end of the day, Jason just gave us 3 out of 4 winning seasons. And this last season can easily be explained when you lose 5 Pro Bowlers, lose 5 Pro Bowlers, and you lose the best RB in football. And you got his legal case hanging over the team's head for the entire season. Can easily be explained.
Well, I have a question for you then on that one. I have a question for you, Cowboys Abroad. What about?
As far as their situation, I don't think his release was so much about holding him accountable as it is. The team is really just going into a different direction. The team really wants to do more ball distribution, put the ball in other receivers' hands. In order to do that, you can't have a stovepipe guy that demands 80% of possessions. So it was just a matter of making the playbook fit more what we're trying to do.
I have a question for you. Cowboys Abroad. Hold on a second. I'm hearing you. Fiance had something to say. Brad Baker made a good comment, though. I will say in there about it shouldn't take 4 years to put a system in place. I mean, look at the Rams, some of these other young teams. But here, Fiance has a question for you.
Well, no, it was about the winning percentage stat that you mentioned being almost so close to Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson produced results. You can win. You can be a winning team. You can be have a winning record. Yeah, but look at Tony Romo. Tony Romo's probably going to go down in history as one of, hands down, the best Cowboy quarterbacks we ever had.
Stat-wise, yes.
But he had 2 playoff wins. The man could not win a playoff game to save his life. That's embarrassing as a Cowboy fan. It hurts. So as much as I agree with you that, Jason Garrett has managed to have a winning overall team and career, I just can't stand behind settling for winning but not achieving our goal. So, and the fact that we have 2 playoff wins in these last handful of years, I mean, that's, again, it does show the fact that the results are not there.
Good point.
What
about that, Cowboys Abroad?
Give me just 1 second. I'll respond.
No problem. I want to say some of you guys have some great questions in the chat here.
Good jokes too.
Some good jokes, but yeah, I mean, listen, it's all good because I like to hear the opposite side, the flip side of this thing. I do agree. Listen, you got to give coaches the time. Also, remember this: when you have a new coach come in, you got to scrap everything you've done. So it is a starting over kind of deal, and could be a big deal. But already the Cowboys just gutted their entire their coordinators basically, other than Linehan and Gary Brown, the running backs coach. They gutted some of the defensive players, the defensive coaches they put in there, Chris Richard. So I do believe that some of these coaches are being held accountable. I think some of these Garrett coaches have been cut, whether per Garrett or because of the front office. But either way, I think that the Cowboys are really. And tell me what you think, Cowboys Abroad. I think the Cowboys management, Stephen Jones particularly, is really putting Jason Garrett and the coaching staff on notice from here on out. You got your 7 years of head coaching. You got basically 4 years of mediocre play. 1 year, meaning 8-8 records, and I'm counting this year. They had 2 years of 4 wins, and because I know it was an injury, so that's different. But they don't have the Eagles. The Eagles had a lot of Pro Bowlers out as well. A lot of them, an MVP possible candidate quarterback out, and they still won the Super Bowl. That's coaching. So let me know what you think. Cowboys brought on that. On this one and the previous question. If you need it asked again, that's fine. We'll put you on here.
Hey, first of all, they ain't necessarily coaching with the Eagles, at least not all coaching. The Eagles had the money to go out and free agency and get a job, get some other players in the league, and get some other players that can get for their system. So it wasn't so much about coaching as it was about resources, budget, and money. As far as the coaches is concerned, we're all right. I mean, I don't really see an issue. I just think that we're giving up on the coach too soon, too early. And if you look at it, the Bill Belichick of the world, his first 6 seasons, 5 out of the 6 in his first season were losing seasons. And they were worse than Garrett. He was in the 0.3 range his first
5 years. You know, but people didn't give up on him, and now he's within steps to the wall. So I just think we need to be a little more patient and give the system an opportunity to work.
Yeah, fair enough. I like that. It looks like you're in the bathroom, man. I don't want to disturb you. I'm just joking, man.
No,
A little echoey there.
I want to touch on the Dez thing to kind of wrap up your thoughts on some of our coaching staff.
Well,
you
I
know,
want
how.
I want to ask one last question about something else. But all right, we'll do Dez first, and I got one more question Cowboys abroad before we wrap this thing up.
All right,
we're almost on 2 hours, so.
Yeah, no. As far as so. You know, keeping in mind, you know, the things that the Cowboys actually do hold Jason Garrett responsible and things like that for, do you think that, you know, regardless of the reasons that they cut Dez, do you think part of that motivation as well was the fact that they, you know, the coaches kind of did want a scapegoat? They wanted a reason, someone to point to say, you know, okay, we're making all the right moves, but these guys just aren't performing.
I mean, that's a good question. And also, I also wanted to say one other thing, too. Like, when is it? I need this from Cowboys Abroad. When is it the time to fire Jason Garrett? When do we move on from Jason Garrett? We moved on from a lot of these other guys. We moved on from Hanna. We moved on from Dez. We moved on from a lot of these guys. Probably move on from Crawford. When do we move on from Jason Garrett? And then your question, you know, if you could answer those two, wrap it up. I got one last one for you and kind of a talk for the chat, and then we got to really wrap it up because it'll be 2 hours. So I don't want to keep you guys.
I can barely contain myself. You guys are cracking me up in the chat with those comments.
Let me roll it to you.
Jason Garrett, he got about a year. He got about a year, maybe two at the max. If he don't produce, he's got to go.
All right, cool. We're on the same page there at least. I know his contract's up in 2 years, so I mean, if he don't win us a Super Bowl, get at least a conference championship. I don't see him staying past his contract at the very latest.
I really don't see him. If he don't put us far into the playoffs, I don't really see us renewing his contract. Yeah. I mean, that's just the real of it. But at the end of the day, it's about winning. You know, and if you don't do it, you know, there's a time when you got to go. But in this case, I just think we just need to be a little bit more patient with Jason Garrett.
Well, you're gonna get your wish because we're gonna see Jason Garrett for one more year at least, and Lenahan too, unfortunately.
Hey, are you gonna be able to catch the All or Nothing that comes out next week with the Cowboys? I mean, how are you feeling about that and being able to see a different side of Garrett that people don't usually get to see?
Well, I have Amazon Prime, so I'll be able to catch it. You know, and I'm feeling great about it. You know, because everybody with me seems to have a problem with Jason Garrett tackling. You know, so I'm happy that the rest of y'all get to see a different side of Jason Garrett. You know, and you get to see a little bit more of his personality.
Yeah, actually, we read that too, and we heard that he curses a lot. He gets in your face a lot more than the clapping, chewing gum kind of guy that we all love to hate. But
and definitely keep your ears open, guys, for the Italian sub.
What was that?
All the things I've been saying, but y'all wouldn't listen to.
And you know what? I'm interested to see Garrett in another way. You know, and I'll give him respect for this. He does do the right thing as a coach by, saving his crap talking for the locker room. He's not going to chew you out. He's not going to put you on blast out in public. He's going to save it for, at a more appropriate time for a team. So I as a coach and just as a person, I appreciate him keeping that separation. But there are moments where even I think that, that there's some things you do have to address right then and there. And
sometimes you got to remember that just cursing or getting tough or seeing the other side doesn't mean he's producing results, because he hasn't really produced enough results for, I think, Cowboy Nation, not just because we won Super Bowls and it was America's team, we got 5 championships. I think it's because we see the Romo get used up, spit out, and no championship. We see Witten getting used up, spit out, no championship. We see Dez Bryant spit up, get there in his prime, no championship. The offensive line is going to get older in a couple years. No, nothing close, not even sniffing a championship. So I think that's where Cowboy Nation is pissed about with the coaches and just with the whole front office. And it's more than just the coaches specifically. It's more than just the position coaches, because the head coach has some responsibility. And like Cowboys Abroad said, It's kind of like the Des Bryant thing. Like one more year, you mess up again, you're going to be gone. And I think that with cutting Des, it kind of translates to something like this. Their scapegoat is gone. Now, you got Dak, but people can say he's still young. He's developing as a 4th-round pick. You took away all the coaches that were giving you problems. No more excuses for Garrett. No more excuses for Lenahan. And, I hate to see a team get gutted and have to uproot again, but, sometimes you have to do it. And the longer you wait, sometimes the way the Cowboys have done it with their star players, they've held on to them too long and paid them too much. You got to do the same with your coaches. I think you can't hold on much longer with this Jason Garrett situation because there's nothing really changing. Now, I can't wait to see his other side. I can't wait to see it, but it's still not producing. The other side is not producing results. So whether it's Clapper, gum-chewing Garrett, puppet Garrett, or it's, cursing, angry, giving it to their team, hyping up Coach Garrett, it's not working either way. But hey, we're all stuck with, we don't have Des, and some of us are really pissed about that. We also don't have, we have to deal with Garrett for another year at least. That's all of us in Cowboy Nation. So as long as he's our coach, I'm gonna call him the Carrot Man. But still, I hope we get us a Super Bowl. All right, if it means he gets a 10-year contract, give us a Super Bowl. I mean, shit, I'll take it at this point.
We'll be fine. And at the end of the day, Cowboys abroad, I'm sure you can agree with us. All we want is for the Cowboys to succeed and to get 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then keep going.
And again, I want to throw, out one last question for the chat and for you, Cowboys abroad, as we wrap this thing up here because we got about 10 minutes. In-house argument, all right? In-house Cowboy. This is only for the Cowboy fans. What do you think? If you had a choice, it could be a one-word answer. Chat, you guys drop it, either one name or the other name. What would you rather do? Would you rather trade a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick, or a 2nd-round pick and Cole Beasley for Earl Thomas, or would you rather get rid of that trade that 2nd-round pick and trade up for Derwin James, safety for safety? One's young, Cam Chancellor has probably the best safety out there overall. Or you have, Earl Thomas, established Pro Bowl safety, but older, 29 years old, but reuniting with Chris Richard, his only coach has ever known in the NFL, his defensive backs coach in Seattle, now in Dallas, now running the game, basically running the team on defense other than Marinelli's overview. But so with that in mind, what do you think Cowboys abroad? And the chat, but I want to hear from Cowboys abroad. What do you think about Earl Thomas for a 2nd and Beasley and getting rid of that 2nd-round pick, but getting Earl Thomas, or getting the 2nd-round pick, getting rid of that 2nd-round pick and getting Derwin James, a fresh young rookie, but unproven in the NFL. Unproven, but
I think overall, I'm just going to keep it short so you're not going to get into the details. I say Derwin James because he's younger. We can get more overall value. I'd rather trade up, even though it hurts and we might lose a little more now. And Earl is proven. I'm just saying I think Derwin James is the real better deal way to go for the future.
I'm saying just one or the other. You have to do one. Which one would you do, Cowboys abroad?
I'm going with the established proven. I'm going with Earl Thomas.
Nice.
I'm going with Earl Thomas for a couple of reasons. One, because I would draft safety probably in the second round anyway. So me giving up a second round pick for him is not a big deal. Giving up Beasley, since we have Switzer, not a real issue. So I don't really think the cost is. I don't really think the cap cost is that much for a proven multi-appearance Pro Bowl type safety, to where I don't have to worry about that position. I don't have to worry about that position at all from a player standpoint. I don't have to worry about it from a leadership standpoint. Earl Thomas, he brings experience. He's a Super Bowl champion, so he brings a certain amount of leadership, a certain amount of how to play the game. This is what we need to do to our young DBs. We got Xavier Woods, Awuzie, you got Lewis in there. They're all young, and they need that veteran free agent, to really solidify that secondary core. So I would be perfectly comfortable with bringing in Earl Thomas. Now I would say that continually wrong. It is Earl Thomas. I would probably wouldn't do it for any other safety. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't do it. But Earl Thomas is proving he's one of them. He's top 3 in anybody's book. And in my mind, he's the top safety in the league. So looking at it from that standpoint, the price is not really that bad. passing on Derwin James. I'm not that really. I like Derwin James. You know, I don't think we'd go wrong. I don't necessarily think we'd go wrong there. But that's just more youth. That's just more youth. You know, at some point in time you need veteran experience. You need veteran experience. Somebody that's been there, done it, and knows how to play it. You know, and so for that reason, I'm rolling with ET29.
Cool. No, I mean, listen, I see your point, and actually, I like.
And I agree with your
I
points,
love
too.
I love the veteran leadership. That's why I think we need a veteran at every single line, the three parts of our defensive areas. Meaning, you know, the cornerback. Now, Byron Jones is the veteran, but again, Earl Thomas would definitely help out.
gonna
That
take over.
we unbelievably veteran leadership right there on defense and safety. And I
still
think Navarro Bowman. I think we got Sean Lee, so he's the vet. But I think Navarro Bowman would be a secure with Hanna's money. We can get Bowman. I'm just saying. So Bowman would be a great linebacker fill-in guy if you want to add some veteran to your defense as a whole. And he can play in case Sean Lee gets hurt. You got somebody who knows what to do, has years of experience. And then, you know, on the defensive front, yeah, we have a lot of young guys. But Tank he's the oldest of the group. He's the most established. I would go with right now. I guess Tyron Crawford would be the real, but Tyron Crawford might not be with the Cowboys. So when you look at it, you know, I think we're good at the front line. I think we got enough vets on the front line that we can hang on that side. I think at linebacker with Sean Lee's injury issues, Sean Lee's the leader, but if he goes down, then what are you going to do at linebacker? You need a Navarro Bowman to step in. And I think at safety, you know, that's why I like the Earl Thomas deal. I think that's why I like getting rid of Beasley, because you get money on the salary. You get another $3 million, $3.5 million from Beasley. Plus you get rid of the second round pick. If you trade down in the first and get yourself another second, you replace that second. So you got yourself a safety without having to draft the safety. So you got the veteran leadership teaming up with his old coach. So I like both your guys' comments.
And that's the thing. There's a lot
tough-
of
tough
validity
choice.
to what you're saying. Both choices, they have their pros and cons. I still feel like overall.
Well, I like the youth. I like the youth,
I know.
but-
I'm thinking big picture. It's not just the youth. It's the talent. You know, the fact that Richard would be able to mold him to exactly what he wants. I mean,
But he already has his mold. He already has it. He's got
but
Earl
his mold
Thomas.
is old. Mold is old.
Older, yeah.
Old
So
mold.
what about the chat? How they ranking
The
them?
chat's actually pretty split too, 50-50. A lot, you know, some of you guys are definitely saying Derwin James. A lot of you guys
Give me some
are
names,
hitting with those points.
Bleed and blue and
Here, let me go
silver.
back to when you asked it. So let me see. Rack City said he would take Earl Thomas. Jesse Ortiz said Derwin James. Broken Nerd said Earl Thomas. Joe Boo said Derwin James. Quest Cowboy said we're trading the clapper for the cursor. Is that bad? So Earl Thomas is a first and is better than just Derwin James. Brad Baker wants Earl Thomas.
All right.
Fanny JP said Derwin James.
3-3.
Let me see.
Here at Cowboys Family.
I
Cowboys
know.
Abroad,
Bleed Silver and Blue said James.
Taking over.
Buddy Johnson said Derwin James.
6-4.
Let me see. Chris Dantzler said Earl Thomas.
6-5. I'm telling you, this is why it was a good question.
Let me see.
Because it's really a tough one.
Yeah.
Neither might happen.
Again, it looks like most of you guys see. You know, it looks like we're leaning a little more towards Derwin James, but all the points you guys are hitting,
Great
very
stuff.
valid points, very good. I think that if the Cowboys decide to do either of those things, as long as we don't give up too much for Derwin James, you can't go wrong either way.
Yeah, no,
so,
I agree. And Ron Smith, thank you for joining us, man. Sorry, you know, we're doing an interactive with Cowboys Abroad today, a special 2-hour special. We're wrapping it up now. We're an hour and a half, an hour and 58 minutes into this. So, you know, we're going to wrap this up now. But I want to say, first and foremost, much love to everybody in the chat. All those comments you guys got over here, you guys help the things go. And Cowboys Abroad is reading it and typing. We're reading it and typing it. We're trying to address it as much as we can. So thank you all for joining us for the chat here. Of course, I want to make sure we say much love, huge amounts of love to Cowboys Abroad, all the way in Okinawa, Japan, representing, man. Yes. I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to put it up to you, man. You give us, let us know anything you want about you, about your fandom, about anything you want right now. Here's your closing statement, man. And you know, do your thing. Let us know what you got. And listen, we're going to have you back here again. I love the way you talk football. I love the fact that we are worldwide here, my Cowboys family and Cowboy fans. You know, we're America's team. We're Earth's team. All right, we're the Milky Way's team. All right, everyone loves the Cowboys. We're the stars.
Universal.
Yeah. So let's go over to Cowboys Abroad and see what he's got to say as he closes it out over there in Okinawa, Japan, on our special 2-hour special with Cowboys Abroad, the donation winner. But it's not about that. He knows how to do this. So much love from him. We've been seeing him. He's been here with us from the beginning, guys, and just been a consistent participant in our channel for almost a year. So we give you all respect and love. Thank you. We're honored to have you on our channel. So thank you so much. And close it out for us, man. Tell everybody out there, my Cowboys family, fans from the Cowboys, fans from other teams. Tell them about you, about us, about everything, and go Cowboys. Let us know, Cowboys Abroad. What's up?
Hey, it's all love. It's all love. We all family. You know, and at the end of the day, we all on the same team, and we want, we all have the same goal. We all want to win. We all want to win. We all want that Super Bowl. And I'm really just humbled and thankful that you would have me on your channel. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak and be a part of the show. Really like what you guys are. Really like what you guys are doing. I really like the consistency consistency and passion in which you do it. We don't always agree. We have varying opinions. A lot of times we get passionate about that. But we can agree and disagree. Agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, we all root for the best. And whatever decision was made by the team, and we hope it's the right one. With that said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the guys in the chat, all the guys and girls in the chat room, chiming in, giving us their thoughts and opinions, giving me an opportunity to talk back and forth with you. This is what I love. I love my hobby is talking Cowboys. And so I'm in comfortable space, and I just really appreciate being here. Shout out to all you guys. Cowboys Abroad all the way.
Man, much love for you, man. Thank you so much, Cowboys. We feel the love, man.
And we feel that same passion too, because we're here again every day, chatting it up with you guys, talking to you guys about this team that we love so much. We're all we're all in it. We're all crazy Cowboy fans. We're all here, talking about it and into this and passionate about it. It's that passion carries through. Love it. So, thank you again, Cowboys Abroad. And I want to do some shout outs here in the chat, but guys, drop some love for Cowboys Abroad in the chat, and of course, let us, in the comments below, guys, let us know. What do you agree with Cowboys Abroad? Do you disagree? It's
statewide.
Yeah.
Statewide. And then also, guys, remember, we're all together. That's Star.
Rocking out, MC.
Yeah, but that's Star, guys. That's what it's about. So whether you agree or disagree, listen, we disagree with some things, but it's all love. Like you said, it's family. My Cowboys family. You understand? So, yeah, we might have disagreements. We might get, like really vocal about some things, but in the end, all of us, I don't care if you love Des so much and you hate the Cowboys to an extent.
Yes.
You still want the Cowboys to win a Super Bowl because you love the Cowboys in the end. So in the end, guys, it's all about the Dallas Cowboys. That's our hobby too. It's become a little mini part-time career here, right? But
we love it because again, we wouldn't have done this if we weren't
daily in the off season. We never thought it'd be daily in the off season, guys. But hey. We got 500 videos out there in 300 days, so we're doing our best.
Thank you, Raptor Charles, again. Quest Cowboy 6, Chris Dancer, all you guys. I'm gonna go do our final shout out. So guys, make sure to drop your name down in the chat.
Name. I wanted to say, guys, a little preview. You look at the names and stuff. Get ready, guys. Tomorrow, my Cowboys family, we have our last regular season game for our little Cowboys flag football team. Little J, Little G. They're sleeping, ready for tomorrow, and possibly going undefeated. Now we're missing a couple of our best players. So we had to do a couple changes. We're still hoping to hang in there and beat these Steelers, but it's just we already wrapped up the #1 seed. So really, it's just like a practice for us. If we can win it, even better. In the end, these kids are proud. They want to get 0 points on that. They want to allow 0 points on that board by the Steelers. They want our defense to solidify and stay at 0 points allowed in the whole year. But I told them it don't matter. We care about next week. It's the playoffs and the Super Bowl in the Flag League. So we'll be really rocking out next week, along with having 2 practices on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then going to Dallas to the draft. Then we're coming right back late night so we can coach the championship game. So, it's all about football. It's all about my Cowboys family, but it's all about the Dallas Cowboys.
So, guys, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start doing some shout-outs. So, ready? Here we go. Drew Burditt, Jesse Ortiz, Bleed Silver and Blue, Cowboys Abroad, Broken Nerd, Cleveland Brown, Chris Dantzler, Raptor Charge, Quest Cowboy 6, Joe Boo, Steel 58, dropping some love. Thanks for being here, man. James
Steelers fan in the
Soros,
house.
Feigning JP. We had Ron Smith. We had Vincent Bobo. Thank you for being here as well.
I like the name.
Dark Visions, thank you for joining us here. And we saved $2.2 million when it's all said and done
On
for
Hanna.
James Hanna.
Yeah.
So Buddy
that's not Earl
Johnson was
Bowman,
here.
baby. Come on.
Brad Baker. Let me see. I'm going to try to go back as far back as this lets me go. I know Fiance can go back a little more. Marcus Rivers, thank you for being here.
You got Rack City, you got Joker.
We had Rack City in here.
Golden Garrett.
Joker, thank you for being here. Golden Garrett.
Cleveland Brown.
Let me see. Cleveland Brown, thank you for being here as well. I can't go back any farther than that.
That's the crew, guys. And you know, the crew down below.
Andrew DeCall, thank you for dropping that love. You see, guys, that's how you say. Go ahead and pop in at the end. At
And
least
of
say hi
course,
so
look
we
in
can
the
shout
chat.
you
Look
out.
in the chat. Cowboys Abroad.
Cowboys Abroad, guys. And again, Cowboys Abroad is always chatting it up in the chat, talking to you guys. So, take advantage, guys. We have this great community of passionate Cowboy fans. So take advantage, agree, disagree, whatever it is. But talk it out. That's what it's all about. So, guys, thank you so much, and make sure to go sub it up to the whole crew. We got Space Cowboy 17, Cowboys Legend 27, Fifth Quarter Cowboys, DJ Crown J. We have Dallas Cowboy Fan 1980 and Dallas Cowboy Football News. So, with that said, guys, never forget the main purpose of this channel.
The main purpose, no matter what.
Why we do what we do.
Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. Dez, no Dez. Garrett, no Garrett. Doesn't matter.
8-8. 1-15
8-8,
or Super Bowl.
9-7.
Doesn't matter, guys.
It's always one thing here.
Number one.
My Cowboy family is just part of it.
Yes.
But it's not what it's about. It's about this right here, guys. You know what it is. Wait.
You're trying to get me.
I tried.
Almost.
For those Eagle fans, you bastards. Take this.
And with that said, guys, thank you for joining us.
I had to just show that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Have a
guys.
great night.
Yes, and of course, as always, never forget the most important thing on this channel, guys. Say it with me. Go Cowboys! She loves
There you go. Go Cowboys. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Oh, we gotta.
Yeah. Represent the helmet because Eagle fans, you'll never see this.